With the recent announcements of an XLR release, I have decided to come back to Project Epoch to finally level up my Paladin to 60. The goal is to experience the whole brand new content that Epoch has prepared for us during leveling and beyond, to eventually reach the reimagined lair where Queen of the Dragons resides and kill her. During this journey from zero to hero, you can expect a lot of personal character progression and of course showcase of all the brand new stuff that Epoch has prepared for us. But I didn't want to start over again, so the adventure will start at level 20, after my hardcore character was brought back to life. So we start off today by speaking with Shinjil, which is like brand new added Darkspear troll in the Barrens that supposedly know any whereabouts about the Mankik's wife. He actually sends us to the Northwatch Hold to recover some kind of orb, during which attempt I did die on my hardcore character, which is this one, as I explained in the intro. So today we carry it out. We finally bring the Korgab's orb, the shaman, and it's all good and fancy, but the shaman actually requires us to gather 5 lightning essences, which of course come from the lightning lizards in the Barrens, of course, from the thunderheads actually. We will be doing those quests in the south, but I guess this will have to wait for the moment, as I still got plenty of quests up in the north and I want to do them in the correct order, so get some more level ups before we go down south. Also, I can't forget that I still got plenty of quests to finish up in the Silverpine Forest, so probably before I even go down here, I will just finish up the northern parts, go back to the Silverpine to finish up what we've got there, and then come back to finish off the Barrens as well. So yeah, we've got plenty of work to do. Thankfully, after the changes, Paladin is really cool and fun to play. I just dinged level 20, although I'm not gonna lie, I would actually use a respec. Like, Seal of Command for the moment is pretty much useless, especially that during leveling you don't have enough mana to actually seal twist, so it's kind of pointless to do that. And by default I did spec into the deflection, because Seal of Crusader talent is usually useless, but since Crusader Strike applies this naturally, as this effect is baked into its baseline, this could increase our crit chance tremendously, thus help us out with the damage. So yeah, I definitely need a respec. Thankfully I do have 2 gold, although I still haven't bought my level 20 spells, so yeah, it's going to be quite expensive, I'm not gonna lie. Thankfully Paladins do get mount on level 40 for free, so that's a massive asset by playing one. But yeah, anyway, let's just turn in this Varrock the Dervish, and now we're actually sent out to hunt for Hazrul. Okay, so the massive group of Hazrul is coming my way. I need to wait for them to come a little bit closer here to the cleaned proximity, where there will be no adjacent monster. Now the massive question is, should I actually defeat his assistants first? I think so, they're quite low level, my burst is pretty big, so let's go in. Yeah, like, I pretty much 2-tapped him, so yeah, that's pretty good to be fair. Okay, that's good. I'm still got 60% HP. It shouldn't be that much of an issue now. Let's just stun him. And see ya, bro. Only half HP. Yeah, dude, like, I'm not gonna lie, the Paladins after the buffs are pretty awesome, but the real fun actually begins on level 46, where you get your natural cleaving seal. That's gonna be really, really dope. Right, here's a blood mark. Let's get the 3 agility and 1 stamina ring. Looks pretty... oh yeah, I haven't got any ring yet, so massive upgrade. I'm just wondering how much agility does it actually give. Crit chance like 0.3 with 3 agility. Not that much, to be fair. And now it's the counterattack. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty powerful and I feel quite confident, but will we be actually able to defeat this? To do this quest? There's also plenty of orcs that help in here, but those guys are also quite more powerful, and they spawn like crazy actually. I need to clear out this area a little bit, so when the guy actually spawns I can just, you know, pick him up and drag him to those freaking guardians. If I'm not gonna put that much threat on him, then they will take over and I should be fine. Lantigath. This guy is brand new. I'm pretty sure he wasn't here usually. Many great baths. Or maybe he was actually. I don't see the big boss yet. Kind of afraid of those storm seers because they're gonna start casting at me. Yeah, and this can actually be quite dangerous, especially if this guy would actually decide to spawn right now. I'm gonna back away, try to line of sight him a little bit so he comes to me. Thankfully on Epoch, all the like walls and stuff like that do work normally, so it shouldn't be that much of a problem. Let's do some line of sight once again. Stun this guy. It's probably unnecessary just to break his cast. Weak bandage. I'm not gonna lie, for leveling paladins, like first aid is actually quite massive, especially in those classic pluses like here on Epoch, because yeah, we spend a lot more mana for our attacks than usually, so you know, first aid actually allows natural mana regen to kick in, and then we can spend more mana for attacks actually. Oh, there we go. Here's the bad boy. 1.5. Not really that bad. The problem is that there are those guys around him. First I need to get some mana back. That's not perfect. I think I'm gonna try to pull him and then just run with him right to guards. Stun him. Try to get rid of these guys first. Okay, they pulled the aggro from the other guy. Okay, good. He actually lost interest in us. And I should be able to pull him solo now. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Get some health back real quick. Okay, I should be fine. Now let's kite him back. Oh my god, he's so freaking powerful. I need to bubble actually already. But thankfully he lost interest in me. I wonder if he's gonna aggro back. Yeah. I'm gonna stun him now. Some damage from afar. Try to kite him a little bit maybe. Yeah, they dazed him. This is actually awesome. And see ya, brother. Nice! Strategic gameplay, and here going down, Warlord Chromar. Embrace the shadow. Pretty good. The cool thing is actually that on the Epoch, this quest works as intended, so we have to fight quite a bit of invaders before he shows up. And since I was able to clear some of them in the central area, yeah, it wasn't too crowded. Hey, counterattack completed, 2000 XP. Very, very nice. The fun thing is that you get better reward by killing that previous warlord. But never mind, I'm not going to complain. 2000 XP is still good. Okay, now it's finally time to kill some harpies in the north. They're level 17, shouldn't be that much of a problem. They're kind of annoying to kill because it's kind of crowded in this place. And the main drawback is that plenty of those mobs are actually not the slayers that we need to kill. Because only slayers drops the rings that we need. I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty good place because, yeah, plenty of mobs to kill and quite a lot of brain thorns to collect. And I need them to level up with some lesser healing potions, although I'm kind of far behind with my alchemy skill as well. I haven't been to the main city for a while. And pretty much all the money I spent was on leveling the skills, so... But you can feel the difference here on Epoch to like Bronzebeard on Ascension, as this feels more like true Classic Plus. Even when you look at the like drop rates. I already killed so many of those freaking witches, and I still missed 2 of those freaking rings. My Crusader Strike is constantly missing, therefore lowering my damage quite tremendously. Because it doesn't apply the debuff, and it actually ups my damage like significantly. Seal of Righteousness hits for 20, and with the debuff on, it hits for 30. Oh, Scroll of Strength, that's actually nice. It's gonna up my damage by like 2. There we go, 6 out of 6. I can get out of here and go straight up to the Camouflage. Although I still need to cut my way through here. So you don't pull extra... Yeah, it did work out nice. I'm not gonna lie, I still inspect like bushes or things like those big wagons with my mouse over. Because yeah, I'm just too used to it from Ascension. Like Worldforged items are really, really great, but the problem on Bronzebeard is that there's like literally too many of them. And some of the most powerful ones are actually obtainable pretty easily. Like, you know, in some random pile of shit or garbage. It's not exactly executed perfectly, but yeah, the idea in itself is actually quite great. Yeah, we have found the camouflage, but we need to clear the area a little bit. And there we go. Let's complete this quest. Now we have to close off the valves. Oh, that's quite funny. They spawned right when we clicked the valve, but they eventually didn't attack me, so... Maybe because they're so low level, I don't know. Man, that was always the problem for paladins, like the runners. I need to actually line up my skills so I can kill them off with like Judgment or Crusader Strike, otherwise they run away into another group and I constantly have to fight because of that. Let's eat them alive. Like, I've got so many, like, you know, side ways of healing myself up to 4, like with bandages, cannibalize, that I rarely even use like Holy Light, except for like, you know, being in combat. So undeads are pretty damn good choice for paladins, to be fair. And to top it all off, we've got Will of Forsaken, and let's face it, fear is like the most annoying thing when you're a paladin, so good stuff. Let's turn in the key, and then we will come back to the Sputter Veil with it. And it's actually a shield upgrade. I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna be tanking with this paladin, certainly not yet at this point, but who knows, maybe one day I will need a shield actually. And yeah, Crusader Strike change is also great for prot paladins. Like, that extra single target threat will be awesome, and with AoE paladins never really had any trouble, so... The massive drawback in TBC talents is the lack of mana regen in the prot tree. Of course, we've got Spiritual Attunement, which gives us 8% of the healing taken as mana, but overhealing doesn't count and self-healing doesn't count as well, so... You know, trying to solo stuff and things like that does not bring you back mana. Seal of Wisdom is also not an option because you need to have a Blessing of Sanctuary on you to reduce incoming damage. Therefore, we need to look for alternative ways of getting the mana back. Sludge Beast. I think this is a rare. There's something wrong, or maybe not. He's got only 500 HP. Yeah, it is rare. I don't know why my nameplate actually doesn't show it. I'm pretty sure I changed that. Like, Elite has been marked with this like special thing around its head, but it should be the same, but just silver. The XP wasn't that great, but we get some cloth and some leather stuff, so... And nothing that fancy, unfortunately. Oh dude, another rare. Yeah, the good thing is that there's not that many players playing it actually, so all of them are pretty much up constantly, because nobody kills them. Look at the loot I get in here, dude, like it's amazing. Leather, oh, mail pants. 6 stamina, 3 strength, 1 agility, war paint, leg guards. This is actually quite great. But those are freaking... It looks like male underwear actually, but yeah, it's pretty damn good. Okay, got the supervisor. Now let's just get rid of him. Get the key. Well, he's already running away. Never mind. Smooth as a butter, really. The damage potential we have is pretty tremendous. We're quite mana hungry, that's a fact, but still. Having more burst is actually pretty damn welcome. Complete the quest, and now let's get the escape. He's gonna be setting up himself, so let's clear those mobs in the meantime. Oh shoot, another... No, that's not a rare. Officer Ghibli? First time I see him. Maybe for a new quest or something. Oh, he's not actually helping me, so I don't reset him when I fight. That's actually a massive asset, because during escorts, really annoying sometimes when they jump to the enemy's throat pretty much instantly and then chain pull like crazy amounts of mobs and they overwhelm you. Or the escorted guy dies and yeah. What? I was just talking about, dude. I was just talking about that. Oh man, I just barely managed to get the threat off of him. Let him run away. I need to kill the other guy. Look at this, he barely made it out alive. And I was just speaking, that's so annoying when they throw themselves into a threat like that. He really wanted to make an example out of me. How to fail a freaking escort. Crazy stuff, man. Completed. The red button, the red shining button is definitely not a good sign. The funny thing is that he almost committed a suicide like a couple of seconds ago. And then eventually he destroys it anyway, so same outcome, but wasting more of your time. Okay, we just need to get the Cat's Eye Emerald for the Booty Bay quest. Potentially here, up here in the hills, There should be a rare raptor hiding. I think I'm gonna go detour really quick to check out if he's up. There's so many rares actually running. Oh, there you go. Yeah, they're constantly available because nobody kills them with such population. Oh, this one is actually marked as a rare elite beast. That's gonna be good. Let's go, bro, you and me. Definitely hits a little bit harder than the previous guys. Okay, it's time for a quick heal. Back away. Quick potion because I'm running out of mana as well. Those minor regen potions are actually really, really good because they give you back health and mana. And there we go. He's gone. And we got Raider shoulder pads and 1 stamina 3 intellect ring. That's actually a pretty good upgrade. Especially that I still have got like 1 slot empty. And some Raider shoulder pads, which are ultimately better than mine. But do they look better? I don't know, they're red. Mine were like grey. I'm gonna keep those. Well, Paladins were always great at soloing things like that, so nothing really changes in here. We just spend a little bit more mana and have a little bit more burst, so we eventually wear them faster. Oh, there we go, a level up by exploring, dude. Can't remember when things like that happened last time. Suit of Justice for some more mobility. And let's start clearing those guys out. This quest usually also take a while, so I do not expect any miracles in here. Those bastards can poison you as well. Oh, there we go, the 3rd mob actually. Cool stuff, and I got my first bruiseweed. Okay, and do I need to actually go to Orgrimmar? Not really, I don't have any business in there. So I guess, you know, and once again, I just went up to this tower just to check the environment because used from Ascension Bronzebeard. I was expecting a fulsome item to be there. Never mind. Let's just hustle him back to Crossroads. Okay, we turned in the Harpy quest and potentially we can get the Zevor Axe, which ultimately is a weapon upgrade. Not big one, but still. Or we can get one-handed weapon. Either way, upgrade is upgrade, so we will definitely do this. And here we got like commission quest, which ultimately is like your profession questing. In my case, for herbalism, by collecting 20 Briarthorns, I can get like 2000 XP, which is not really that big, but also not so bad. And ultimately, we do get some random stuff from those satchels as well, and 15 silver. So I guess that for quicker leveling is definitely a way to go. I was really close to Orgrimmar, and to be fair, I could have went there to turn the war mode on, like extra XP would definitely be nice. Previously I didn't have it because I was hardcore, so I didn't turn it on initially. And just during the flight, let's take a look at the population, and it seems that it slightly goes up since I entered. Like over 70 people joined, and yeah, it's not peak time yet. So I think that we could probably expect around 500 people during the evening when the raid actually comes out, but we'll see. There we've got some quests to turn in here. Let's get the shield upgrade. That's pretty straightforward. I can delete this Samouflage stuff. Minus fortune, a sack of coins. Usually there's not much in there, but let's see. 20 silver, not so bad. 6 slot bag. That doesn't actually help me that much. I still have got my 6 slotters. Like at least 10 slot bags would be awesome, but I'm pretty poor. Like pretty much everything I have, I funnel into my spells or spec. And yeah, this time around I need to respec as well, so that's actually quite bad. Okay, let's get back to Crossroads quickly. Like I completed most of the quests in here. Pretty much everything I have is still in the south. So let's get my weapon upgrade. Okay, we've got Serena Bloodfeather. Thankfully she's not guarded. It's like I think I can pick her up alone, which is a good thing. Kite her away from the nest, so no surprises happen. Let's just stun her so she doesn't run away, and see ya. Yeah, well, the trip was actually quite longer than the fighting. But yeah, it's usually like that. I would probably skip this quest due to the fact that yeah, it took me quite a long time to come here. Although yeah, it is a weapon upgrade, so... Okay, we found another Braithorn. I will get 2. I still need 2, so probably just need to find 1 node to pick it up. But yeah, still have a long way back to Crossroads, so potentially I can find it. And then turn in this level 25 quest. Although I think Oh yeah, the quest turn-in is at Ratchet, so it doesn't matter, we're not going to be going there anytime soon, probably. Alright, so back at Crossroads now. Oh, I picked this Zavaur, I think. It is spelled, who knows. But yeah, Zavaur Axe, yeah, 9 stamina is actually quite massive for survivability. We also get friendly with the Darkspear trolls. I just now remembered that on Epoch you can buy some extra stuff for reputation. Although at Crossroads there was no clear reputation vendor, although I did get with the Darkspear trolls, and in Sengen I'm pretty sure that there is one. Okay, never mind. The massive disadvantage of changing into axe is that I have absolutely no skill in these weapons. Like 1 out of 105. So yeah, it's literally terrible. Oh, I even start to see people on lower levels. That's actually quite cool. But yeah, coming back to the reputation, as you can see, I've got like coming out from the Horde section, and there's the Sepulchre one. And I already did buy a couple of very good items in there. Of course, you have to spend like additional gold for them, but still. Upgrade is upgrade. Okay, I came real quick to Camp Taraho. Oh, we'll need to do the Ishamu Hale anyway. Oh, brand new quest it seems. Ekelfang Teeth. Usually they're not here, and a very nice dagger thanks to that. Local hyenas. Yeah, previously these were like unused completely. And there's like the missing lore speakers. Search the southern gold road for any sign of the missing caravan. Man, more new quests here in the Barrens. Dude, like so many of them. I was recently doing like this Durnhold WoW playthrough, and to be honest, you can actually can compare the two. Like Epoch has so many more of those new quests around. Okay, I need to actually do this, concentrate the orb's power onto the Thunder Lizard, but I do wonder if they need to be like brought down to certain HP or something. Oh no, it doesn't seem so. Shit, I need to train my weapon skill. Can I actually siphon from same one? No. Okay, just give me the sword. Okay, we've got 2 nice. It has 10-second cooldown, so I still have time to actually finish them off and go to the other one. Those are the hyenas we need to kill. Good stuff, good stuff. Like, it's not like there's like constantly epic quests waiting for us around every corner, but even such little additions like this, like kill those hyenas that were never pretty much used in the freaking whole game history. But then on top of that, you've got quests like this caravan from the Gold Road, or this quest, Mankir's Wife questline that has been completely changed. Like, I checked the original place of Mankir's Wife right here, and she's literally not there. There's no body over there. I don't know, maybe they just resurrected her, who knows? That's what makes it even more interesting. Okay, one more Storm Snout, and I guess we can go back. Okay, 5 out of 5. Let's finish him off real quick, stun this, so we don't take any unnecessary damage, and finish off quickly. I guess I will just have to learn my weapon skill on some little bit lower level monsters. Okay, we're heading to the Shaman to actually turn in the quest and see where we can look for the Mankir's Wife. The funny thing is that people now constantly just look for the Onyxia attunement, because yeah, you know, people were actually disbelieving in any content addition, like around Christmas, so most of the people just quit and didn't give a shit about that. But yeah, now. But I'm not gonna lie, the announcement was given on a pretty short notice, so they didn't give people too much time to prepare actually. Alright, let's see. Perfect, Mon, we may begin the ritual. Oh, there's gonna be a ritual, that's gonna be interesting, dude. I've got one massive problem because I sold my two-handed sword. Location soul when move. If somebody attacks us, then I'm dead in the water because I don't have weapon skill, actually. She's surrounded by the bristleback, let me concentrate more on her location. Southwest of the Lushwater Oasis is a tribe of bristleback, you will find her there. Alive? Dude, they freaking resurrected the Mankir's Wife. Cool stuff. We have to now report to her husband at Crossroads, and then he will probably send us further to fight with the bristleback. Well, that's what I said. It's definitely incrementally more interesting rather than just finding her dead body. But to be fair, I was not actually expecting such a turn of events. Like, you know, resurrecting dead bodies. Like, pretty much everybody knows Monkirk's wife. She's very well known to many men of the Horde. However it sounds like. But yeah, I mean, pretty iconic character, so it's even better that they decided to like remake the questline. Hey there, Monkirk. Give me this old shabby. She's name's Nadia. We are so close to finding her Venars. I'm familiar with the area Shil'jin told you about. It's called Agamagor, and many bristleback dwell there. You will find it southwest of the Lush Water Oasis. I'm counting on you, please. Bring my beloved Nadia back to me. That's pretty fancy. I do wonder if this is gonna be like an escort or something. Oh, I was expecting her to be like in this place where I usually like level. But she's more like here. Like, this place was not really occupied that much by people. Like, this was just simply closer. Okay, that's fun. But I guess that we're gonna leave the culmination of the Monkirk's wife quest for the next episode. Alright, so today we start off back in the undead starting zone, mostly because I wanted to speak with the Paladin trainer, as I did level 20 recently, and yeah, finally we've got this consecration, which is going to be amazing for both tanking and DPSing. Exorcism, probably going to fight some undeads today, so can be useful. Flash of Light, very nice. Devotion Aura, nothing really that great, but I guess that for tanking sometimes can be useful, so I'm gonna take it. So we're left with 2 gold and 35 silver, which pretty much allows me to respec now. And we're gonna do it, because after all the buffs to Paladins, this spec is gonna look a little bit different. So in the first row we've got Improved Blessing of Might. We use mostly Wisdom due to the fact that it's very mana hungry, with, you know, having that Seal of Righteousness and Crusader Strike judgmenting all the time, so yeah, will be more beneficial. Then of course we take 2 points into Improved Judgment, and now comes the thing that has changed, because this used to be Improved Seal of the Crusader, but since it's gone, it now also gives out Crusader Strike, not only increase holy damage, but also increase the critical strike chance of all spells and attacks made against the target by additional 3%, so, you know, we're gonna have the debuff constantly all the time, so of course it's nice to have. 3 out of 3. 3% crit is actually no joke. And then Seal of Command is pretty much useless, because yeah, eventually in single target you probably still want to Seal Twist. But you know, at this level, we're mana hungry, we don't want to do it, so I'm just gonna skip it, especially that with the improved Crusader Strike and improved holy damage. Seal of Righteousness actually hits like a freaking truck. Like pretty much half of my auto attack, which is pretty damn good. So we're gonna stick to Seal of Righteousness. I'm gonna pick more mobility with Pursuit of Justice, which is gonna increase movement speed and in both regular running and mounted movement speed. And then we're gonna start working our way into the Conviction to increase the crit chance, as yeah, more damage is always welcome. Now then, we'll be on our way to Silverpine Forest to finish up all of the quests we have left over previously. But first we have got some business to do in Undercity. First, we have to turn in that elite quest to this guy, and he actually will send us back to Silverpine to kill one of the guys near the Gilnean Gate. But to be fair, also along the way, I found a very good weapon upgrade, to be fair, like 3 more DPS. For 62 silver only. So yeah, I'm gonna take it, and definitely looks pretty damn awesome. But yeah, first it seems that Paladin trainer... Oh, wait a minute, cool, look at this. They added sewer slime into the Undercity, like to replicate that sewer beast. Crocodile that's actually swimming in the Stormwind canals. Pretty cool stuff. But yeah, let's pick with the Fallen Knight, because she actually asks us to start another Paladin trial. It's gonna reward us with a pretty cool shield, it seems. It looks good. It is good. And it seems that we have to kill some ghosts. Gives plenty of XP, actually. But to be fair, I think it's a little bit early, like Scarlet Monastery Graveyard. There are like level 30 elites running around there, so I guess this will have to wait for a bit. So yeah, let's just pick our brand new weapon. Definitely looks a lot more cooler than that strange bended zebra axe, or whatever. Okay, and with all that done, let's get back to Spulker. Alright, it seems that on the place, there are some more stuff that we can unlock in here. Our goal, I don't think I'm going to be doing SFK just yet. Then we've got the Mura totem right from the Barrens. The rewards were not amazing, but this is still free XP. And there are the Deathstalkers quest for instance as well, so we'll see. Okay, I really went up with the levels when I was in the Barrens, so for the moment I have to go deep into the LM mine to find one of the Worgens. But yeah, I'm over leveling these guys by quite a bit. It's good though, like we will finish those quests really fast and then we'll be kind of safe in those places that usually are quite dangerous. So with this out of the way, let's head out to the Fenris Isle. There's a strange Fenris Thatos guarding the Loromir Lake. I can't really remember him, so let's just kill it. Maybe this guy is actually brand new and he can give us something. Oh, he can even like flip us up. No, but no rewards or anything like that. Strange. Probably for some class quest or something. It's great that Epoch was actually enhanced by the Ascension client, because now we are allowed to actually see farther. And from this very place I can, for example, already see this big Dalaran dome, which otherwise would not be possible. Okay, so we actually have to kill plenty of those brutes to collect the Rodhide Ichors, but also to get a Talking Head quest item. That will give us pretty nice change to finish up in here. Maybe I start clearing my way inside the keep, because then otherwise if the quest drops actually, I don't have to do it like the second time while still collecting the items, so it just simply saves time. Oh my god, this burst, like... Oh, and there we go. Quest item actually dropped. And we have to find the grave of this Alaric's head. There we go, shallow grave. His feet sticking out. Okay, now to the hidden alcove, which is actually right on top of the keep. Although we will get a quest later down the line that we could do along with this one. So I think I'm just gonna leave this place and simply come back later when I have all the quests needed for this place. There we go, 8 out of 8. Now, my massive mistake was that I haven't actually set my Hearthstone back to Sepulchre. So yeah, we have to do some jogging. So I'll see you guys in a second then. Okay, so the first quest was actually turned in, and it seems that we are being already sent to that elite place, the Pyrewood village. And apparently there's like a brand new quest, help Deathstalker Freya kill the Pyrewood Council. I can't actually remember doing that previously, so good stuff. Okay, we're back from the quick trip from the other city as we had to turn in the quest, and it seems that there are brand new quests in here. Aragol Ambush, this was actually one of the brand new quests that we got in the Silverpine. Show Deathguard kits about the contents of the crate. I do wonder what exactly that is, as it seems that Aragol has ambushed the undead crate. Child of Aragol. I can... Oh, he don't want to. Don't want to send him to Undercity to be tortured, and I would love to use it right here. I mean, that's pretty fancy, there's no follow-up. We did actually unlock the revered chest beast, although I did randomly get a better one last time, so I don't actually need it. And there's the turn-in from Thule Ravenclaw. Before we launch an assault to Fenris Isle, we need to report to the High Executor. He's gonna give us some weapon enhancement, which is good. I mean, Whole Keep is not entirely elite, so I think we should be able to solo it, but we'll see. I'm gonna get the sharpening stones, a pretty cool looking rope for it, and a one-handed weapon. But yeah, either way, we are eventually sent to kill Thule and deliver the body of that talking head. Now, previously, my chest piece is pretty good, so I'm gonna apply some extra armor for it. And we also got those sharpening stones, but we're gonna apply it straight up before fighting. And to top it all off, we've got the Bethos potion that can remove the Hex of Ravenclaw and make him a little bit more accessible, let's say. Right boys, so we're going right in for the keep. There seems to be plenty of guards along the way, but I do have a little sneaky plan how to get to the Thule's ass. Dude, they're actually showering me with pretty good stuff, like 3 stamina, 2 strength. Extra damage is always nice. So as you can see, he's guarded by the Imp Minion, Raging and 2 Raging Rodhides. The thing is that Those two guys are casters, so I could easily line of sight them while still killing those little pests around him. And to do so, I want to clear the way up the stairs, then I have time to actually, you know, fight off his defenders and line of sight the spells that will be being cast by the imp and the caster himself. I want to clear the whole path up to the stairs, up the roof, that is. And there we go, I've got level 22. That's actually not that fortunate. I could have calculated it so it would happen during the combat. But either way, there's also this shack that we need to complete quest with, so we can do right now as well. Okay, some cool rewards if we get it back. But yeah, with the patrols cleared, I think this should work out pretty damn well. Let's pull those guys. The Thule is actually chasing me as well. Oh, he started casting also. This is the second rot hide. I need to actually start casting him. Stun the Thule. Okay, I think I lost them. Let's do a quick heal. Get rid of the imp, possibly. Quick heal. The stairs are actually perfect place to fight them. Okay, the imp is down. Where's that mage actually? I just hope he doesn't come back with like shit tons of enemies. Oh, there you are. The other guy also came back? How is this possible? Oh shit. Ah, didn't manage to click my bubble. Holy crap. Back to support, here we go. Ah, that's unfortunate. If I would have clicked bubble quick enough, then it would go down, I think. Now the big question is whether all of those mobs will respawn now. Okay, it seems that pretty much everybody have respawned by this point. Okay, I'm fully rebuffed now. His imp minion is actually up. That would really be unfortunate. I need to clear all the way up once again. One of these guys has respawned actually. Then the imp and then get rid of the Thule. Okay, they all follow me. He started casting, which is actually perfect. Then I can kite him a little bit more. They're still following, so pretty good stuff. Okay, this guy's dead. Quick heal up top. Line of sight real quick. Okay, the imp is dead. Now we can start fighting. Oh, dude, like smacking me like crazy, really. I need to start bubbling. Two quick heals. Okay, stun. Oh, dude, I think I'm not quite sure if this is actually possible. Like, this guy hits like crazy, dude. I did manage to hide before that freaking spell cast. Jump! Okay, two quick heals. And I need to work my way upstairs once again. Like, this kiting is my only way of living through this. Quick bandage, maybe? Where's this guy? I just lost him. Oh, he's coming back to me, alright, that's perfect. I did recover some mana in the meantime. I also got a stun, so I'm gonna use it real quick. Okay, we end it here now, fully. You're going down, brother. Oh shit, line of play in hands. Need to jump down once again. Like, potions are coming back really soon, but the respawns also. Okay, I think one more hit from Seal of Crusader Strike and he should be down. Thankfully he didn't pull like another pack of mobs. Yes, there we go. Dude, that was quite intense, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, well the job's done. You know what, I'm just gonna Hearthstone out of here. Thankfully this time around I did set it up in Sepulchre, so all the other quest turning is actually in Undercity. Although I could use some spare time to actually learn new spells as well. Maybe this is actually a good idea to go back there. Okay, so today we start off by retrieving one of the boxes that contains some Dalaran wizardry and has a high value for the Undercity. There's also like this other quest that we have to do in the meantime by killing all those mages. Anatomy for the Afterlife, which seems to be like the brand new quest for the area. We're literally collecting like blood from these mages, but thankfully since they are pretty low level, most of the time we just two-shot them. Now I just remember that all those items are actually connected with the quest, where we are supposed to create our own abomination in the Undercity. So ultimately I think that the ending of this quest will be pretty damn cool. Like previously when I was here, I was collecting other parts, ghouls and worgens, so I guess time for humans has come. There we go, easy peasy, 10 out of 10, my map definitely looks a lot clearer now. It's pretty funny because this quest gives you an order to kill those level 13, 14 mages, and then suddenly you got stuff like those Ravenclaw Drudgers that have level 20, or even higher sometimes. Or the Dalaran wizards that also are around 20. I just got the new rank of the Crusader Strike and my damage actually went up by quite a bit. It's pretty funky because the damage itself from Crusader Strike does not really increase, but it increases the holy damage taken by the enemy. So we got 23 at first rank, 35 next, and now we've got 58, which is like crazy amount to be fair. And maybe the Crusader Strike in itself doesn't really do that much damage, but it increases pretty much all other damage you deal by hefty amounts. So, and to top it all off, its damage scale with holy spell damage, so in theory all of those modifiers affect Crusader Strike as well, so good stuff. We'll be killing some undeads. I've got amazing stuff in form of exorcism for them. Although I made a small mistake, and I need to hit them with the Crusader Strike first, and then exorcism actually has incrementally increased damage. Oh, wait a minute. Strange Ichor Bottle. Bring the sample to Ravenclaw Ichor to Bothker Renfell at Sepulchre. Brand new quest it seems. Good stuff. But most importantly, we receive 8 slot bag. This is something that interests me the most, to be fair. 2 extra bag slots. And there we go. Undead's clear. Such a shame because exorcism is an amazing addition while killing all those guys. It's crazy because the damage of judgment is actually like doubled when you have Crusader Strike on. But we're now here in Ambermill and we are supposed to find some kind of initiate that was lost in here. And he seems to be hidden in this big massive barn. There we go. He's like guarded only by one guy that doesn't even know how to cast spells because I line of sight him constantly. Okay, but of course we have to find the key to free this guy up. And there's this mage in the neighborhood. Asset, of course. I presume that this place is pretty much swarmed with those mages. So I prefer not to go inside that much. Oh my god, another 8 slot bag? I need to farm here for a little bit. There we go, Magus Door Node. It doesn't really look that much powerful. He's constantly meleeing me. He's not that massive of a mag as it seems. Yeah, let's get back to the barn and help our friend. Okay, great. We've got this done. I just need a few more actually one more book to complete the other quest as well, and we're good to go. And yeah, first kill, first book. Yeah, let's start turning in those quests. There's plenty of them, only 300 XP, that's kind of strange. Well, I'm still doing some of the very low level quests in here, so that's why. Ooh, a lore speaker actually orders me to call the sickly refugees and collect their Gilnean tomes. That's an act without mercy. But I take it, I guess. Oh, and we also turned in the initiate we've been looking for. Oh, finally, we've got the anatomy of the afterlife. Summon and control the abomination and use it to kill Akagi south of Sepulchre. That sounds pretty damn cool, if you ask me. More commission quests, although... oh, 5 lesser healing potions. I've got those, I can do them. That's no problem, although I do have them kept in my bank, so... Oh, there's this Akagi, elite bear. You need to be in Sepulchre. Oh shit. Didn't read the quest properly. Need to go back to summon the abomination first. Okay, this should work just fine. And my creation is right here. Oh, I can control it. Alright, I thought that this is gonna be a pet. We've got the hook, we've got the massive attack, this is gonna be fun. We also have 1.5k health, same as the Akagi bear. Let's pull him. Oh, nice hook. Smack him with a mortal strike that he dodges. Big mortal strike, 130, yeah, that's better. The duel is really tight, man. There we go. Now, we just come back here and turn in the quest, easy peasy. Although, yeah, fighting with the abomination was pretty cool stuff, like collecting all those things to create one of my own. 2 stamina. I already have better rings, but I can't complain. It would be really fun if we could, for example, receive a pet and keep him forever. That would actually be quite good. Okay, I got my 5 lesser healing potions back from Undercity, and let's give them to this death guard so he can continue his duty for the Dark Lady. Nothing that fancy from rewards, but 2k XP is always nice to have. Okay boys, so now we're gonna start from the Pyrewood village, since those guys have the lowest level needed, and then we're gonna carry on for more difficult stuff like Archmage Atteric at 22, and stuff like the Gilnean guys around 20. As you can see, those are all elites, but since I overleveled them to a point where I don't even get XP from them, it shouldn't be that much of a problem. Although to be exact, I'm not exactly sure what to look inside the town, since there's like brand new quest inside as well. I'm entering the town hall and we can already start seeing the dead bodies lying around everywhere. Okay, the rewards aren't anything awesome. I'm probably overlevel this quest as well, but yeah, let's do this. Let's clear the Pyrewood village of the elderly guy. Okay, we've got the first councilman. This one is pretty weak, like level 12. Okay, let her throw himself at one guy, so she can tank for a little bit, especially as she's got like 1.5k HP. Now I'm gonna finish off the other councilman, carry on to this bad boy, just to simply finish him off quickly. Okay, now there's 3 guys, let's pick one. I have to keep an eye also on her, so she doesn't die along the way. No, she's pretty tanky. Good. Okay, and the last one. See ya, bro. Quick bandit, just in case more of them will come. It is possible that there's gonna be like the last wave. Yeah, Lord Mayor. I'm gonna kill him first, I guess. I'm gonna drop a consecration real quick, just to deal some extra damage, since there's plenty of those guys. The Death Stalker is safe and sound, that's good. And there we go. Well done, a blow to Argal, no doubt. Everything is pretty shite, so I guess I'm not gonna take anything. Well, I'm overleveling them by a bit, so that's why it wasn't actually that hard to begin with. But I do it mostly for the quest XP. And you know, I just wanted to visit the Pyrewood village, hoping to maybe see something new. But yeah, now we just need to pick up the journal that we're here for. Good thing is that we, overleveling the book quite a bit, is that we don't actually aggro that many people at the same time, so... Okay, it seems that there's one elite that does have like my level range at least. It's not gonna help him that much, that's for sure. But at least I'm gonna get some mob XP thanks to that. Yeah, and now's the journal right in the bookshelf. And we're done. There's not really that much else to do in here. Fortunately, Epoch didn't add too much to the Pyrewood village itself, so I'm not entirely sure, but wasn't there like a way out of here? I guess not. I'm gonna get a normal leave to stun this guy. I'm gonna head over to the Gilnean wall to finish up the brand new quest that Epoch has actually added. Ooh, the Son of Argal. I'm actually really tempted to try him out. He's level 24. I think it should be doable. Yeah, he was always terrorizing people everywhere right here. Let's go for him. You're going down, you greedy bastard. No mercy for you today. Okay, let's kite him back a little bit. Kite away the curse. Unfortunately, it's not possible. That's kind of a shame, but yeah. It is what it is. Okay, it's time for some kiting. Let's do a big massive heal. There we go. Time for some potions. Okay, time for bubble actually. And thanks to that, I dispelled Argal's gift and he's casting another Argal's gift into me. Therefore allowing me to avoid it as well. Can I outrange it? Oh yeah, I do. That's pretty good. Okay, I will need to use my lay on hands really soon. There we go. We're full HP. All cooldowns used, nothing left. There's auto attacks and Crusader Strike, but I'm 2 hits away from defeating him, and you're going down, bro. 700 XP. That was actually quite good, but only 2 silver. Dude, like, what the hell? For killing such an enemy, at least they could increase and drop raids or something. I don't know. But yeah, I guess. Oh, there's the exploration for Silverpine. That's nice. You know, completely forgot that we've got achievements in this version of the game, so good. Warlord Chromar, hiding around this tent. Okay, let's clear them out one by one. There's no point rushing in. One massive asset of having like engineering on a paladin is that you do have some range capabilities thanks to that. But yeah, with consecration they're actually going down really fast. That Crusader Strike also increases consecration damage tremendously. Hey, Valdred is alone now, that shouldn't pose that much threat. Here we go, bro, you and me. Dude, I missed my Crusader Strike. This is the most annoying thing on this new Paladin. Another miss. Because it limits your damage quite significantly. And there we go. At least we've got some very cool shield for that. That's definitely an improvement. Like, simple Warlord Chromar had better loot than the Son of Argal. That's crazy, actually. Dalian for right. He's also some kind of quest objective around here. Oh shit, dude, I think I pulled a little bit too many. And there we go, level 23. Perfect moment, because I was already considering using all of my cooldowns. But yeah, we not only got our objectives done, but also get a level up. You know, with Ascension, adding that more view sides, you can actually see that Gilneas is entirely empty and like those broken texture right behind the walls. So yeah, there's still nothing in there. But yeah, I do kind of understand that at today's standards, Gilneas isn't something really that great or exciting for people. Because yeah, we've already seen a couple of iterations of it, so like, you know, Blizzard did it, Turtle WoW did it. There's not really too much that you can show in there, like, you know, Worgens are Worgen, Argal is Argal, that's it. Nice, we found this small camp that we are supposed to do a commission quest for. He actually wanted Mage Royals. That's good because I've got plenty of them. Although the rewards are rather scarce. 420, cures up to 4 diseases. That also doesn't have any use for me. As because of Paladin I have got Purify, so useless stuff. Okay, so now we're going for the head of the Atteric because we need to grab his staff. Pretty much everybody around here is low level, like I remember all those quests being so difficult, but yeah, usually you are a lot lower level at this point. Oh shit, he went for the Atteric. No matter, he's not even an elite, so that shouldn't be that much of a problem. I don't even have to heal myself. I'm just gonna stun him and get rid of him real quick. Easy peasy. There we go. There's a chest right at the town hall, so it's even better. A pretty good one-handed mace. Okay, so it seems that at this point, pretty much every quest in Silverpine Forest, as you can see, is completed. I'm not quite sure if there will be any follow-ups off of it. Especially, I do keep those low-level quests still, but they were connected to the Pyrewood village, so supposedly not. Which would mean that that was like Silverpine Forest finale, and now we would only need to do the SFK. Like, I don't expect new things from it, because as far as I'm concerned, there aren't any. But the fact is that there are very, very good items for paladins, like, you know, things like weapons, shields, mail, armor, pretty good stuff. Therefore, it would be really, really nice to get some of the upgrades from it. Okay, let's turn the Atheric Staff. The leather armor is actually not really interesting for us, so we're gonna get the rod. At least we're gonna get 20 silver for it. Oh, there are actually pretty good weapons for the Argal's Folly, although mine axe is a lot better, therefore I'm just gonna get it for the gold. But yeah, we got Revered with the Sepulchre, which means that I can buy, sorry, Exalted, which means that I can grab Child of Aragal, which is like a companion that we've seen in the previous episode, but we also got Sepulchre Signet, which is very, very nice all-rounder at this level. It only costs 9 silver, so I'm gonna get it. Good stuff. It was pretty much free because, yeah, it has the same price. Okay, we've turned in pretty much everything, but it seems that this law speaker does have another quest, and we are supposed to collect a theory of history from abandoned house in southern Silverpine Forest. I wonder where exactly that is. Go is very, very far away. And this is like an elite quest, which is kind of strange. I guess it's probably some kind of high-level adversary waiting over there. But yeah, since I really want to complete all of the brand new quests, I'm definitely gonna go in there. Well, in the meantime, along the way, I already got another Paladin, but we're trying to find a group to SFK. And there seems to be like around 20 people around our level. Therefore, I do have my hopes up. Finding a healer mostly, because if we don't have a tank, I can always go tank mode, and maybe I will not be as effective as with the talents, but on the lower levels it doesn't really matter that much, as long as I have a shield and keep threat. So okay, so we found ourselves right next to the camp that we have already visited once, not so long ago, and there really seems to be like some kind of hut very deep in the mountains, guarded by the freaking worgen, the low level ones. So I do wonder why this quest is elite. Probably when I pick this book up, something nasty is gonna come out. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Stun him so he doesn't give me this Aragal shit. Okay, quick bubble, so I can heal up a little bit and finish him off. Oh, another one. Casting Aragal's gift when I'm bubbled. Good idea, bro. Very good idea. I do have the theory of history, and yeah, there's not much else to do in here, so let's just teleport back. Okay, let's see. The rewards aren't that great for strength and some intellect. Nothing really that amazing, and seems to be the end of the chain quest. Yeah, the rest of the quests actually turn in the Undercity, so let's head over right there. So we turn in the Husband's Revenge, which gives us 1500 XP, very, very nice. Now, since we're already in the Undercity, I'm gonna go and try my Paladin questline, which is supposed to happen in the Scarlet Monastery. And it's supposed to be a challenge for level 25. Okay, so we found ourselves at the Scarlet Monastery. This place is swarmed with those level 30s. The quest itself actually says something about some kind of stone path. Oh yeah, I do understand now. Because there is a pathway actually behind the monastery, and in Standard Classic it was usually empty. But look at this, there's like brand new NPCs in here. Light still burns. Look at this, there's like undead paladins trying to get over it. Holy shit, dude, there's like a Tauren trying to convince this Forsaken that the light chose them and that they should endure the pains and try to be the beacon of the light. or the comrades. That was quite epic, to be fair. Like, you don't really see so many of those in standard classics, so it's even better. And there we go. There's been like whole cemetery added in here. Otherwise in classic this place is completely barren. Let's just finish off those ghosts. They're like level 20, so the very moment you get this quest you can actually complete it. I was stalling because, you know, the very moment I've seen the name Scarlet Monastery, I was afraid that I'm gonna come here just to die. But on the other hand, oh my god, he used lay on hands straight away. That's kinda crazy. Regal the Blessed. Their tactics are kinda crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Spirit of the Healing. And there's the one inside this catacomb. Hello there. Spirit of Protection. She seems to be like a prop paladin or something. Or she uses justice in the bubble. That's kinda crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Why those evades? Sometimes when you try to pull over the mobs, like through the stairs or over the fence, even small one like that, they get evasions. Okay, unless the quest is done. That sweet scene with those two NPCs was actually kind of epic. Okay, so we're back at the trainer. Let's turn this in. We should get the Sense Undead and Tarnished Bastion. Oh, look at this. Deliver the letter and payment to Archrook the Anvil in Oakmar Valley of Honor. Ah, now it's time to construct a hammer worthy of a paladin. Sure, I thought that she actually sends us to the Paladin trainer, but it seems not. But yeah, it's like the mirror quest for the human paladins, where you do the Iron Fist or whatever the name is for that axe. But yeah, nonetheless, we will continue our journey. We're coming back to the Barrens to finish off all of our stuff. Well, let's head out. Okay, so we just arrived at Orgrimmar, and we are supposed to carry on with the Paladin questline. And seems to be like exactly the same as on the Alliance part. So we get a list of items that we need to get. Black Fountain Deep, Ragefire Chasm, and Shadowfang Keep. But since we are leveling pretty fast, and it's actually quite hard to find any people for dungeons, so I'll abandon it. To the battle of, I haven't still yet been in Thunderbluff, therefore I don't have any skill to use two-handed maces. Okay, so on our way to Camp Taurajo, we're dropping by to the crossroads, and first we speak with Apothecary Hellbrim that gives us the commission for Fala Sagewind, that requires us to actually create 5 elixirs of wisdom for 2000 XP. I straight up accept it because I've got plenty of resources to make those. Therefore I can still train my skill and get plenty of XP, since I don't really use elixir of wisdoms whatsoever. And we also speak with Koran that gives us 12 Silithid Egg Quest. Okay, so our hiking is over. Is our delivery, 5 elixir of wisdoms, complete quest, 2000 XP, thank you very much. And we did get plenty of cool stuff from it, like Wild Steel Broom or Briar Thorns. Okay, now a quick trip to Ratchet because we've got another commission to turn in over there, and then we can head over to Camp Taurajo finally. Okay, return in another commission for plenty of XP and some other stuff. Potions can definitely come in handy, and some of the heavy wool bandages are pretty damn awesome because they like double the amount we heal with it. This is literally half of our HP at the moment, so I take it day and night. Okay, so let's accept all the other quests we have to do, as first of our will be to go and seek Munkirk's wife, although we've got another commission to make in here. Those are kind of interesting, to be fair, like some random XP here and there that you can take with the items that you already use. Good stuff, actually. I do have some wool bandages, therefore I can trade it for 2000 XP, and even more potions, which is great. Oh, and I even did get some wool cloth back, and now on 115 I should be able to learn how to make the bigger ones. That can definitely be helpful. Alright boys, but enough yapping for the moment, let's head over and bring the war back to the Bristlebacks. Oh dude, some of them are actually too low level to even give me an XP. Okay, in the middle of the Bristlebacks I did found a rare monster. It's not the elite one because his HP actually is on the same level as the normal mobs, but yeah, rare is a rare. The Absorb Shield seems to be quite powerful, but not too powerful. Okay, just some stuff to sell, let's face it. Okay, if we finally got to the place where supposedly Monkey's wife should be. And there she is. And she seems to be alive, so Epoch actually resurrected her. Okay, let's see what she has to say. I'm so glad you are here. I have been trapped here many days, but I thought all hope was lost. I observe the leader from time to time. They call him Gortrak. He always comes from a bristleback village northwest of here. I'll bet anything he has the key to my cage. Okay, he seems to be like a lot further down into the mountains, so I guess let's go and pick a fight with him. Oh, this guy is actually elite. That's gonna be fun. He's got a hunter at his side. I wonder if I can just pull him over. Probably not. Let's just go all in. Oh, the other hunter didn't actually aggro. That's perfect. This little swine hits like a wet noodle, so he should be easy peasy. Let's just stun him so he doesn't irk me anymore. Yeah, perfecto, we've got the key. Okay, let Monkey's wife be free. 2000 XP. There we go. Nice, where are you going? I'm kind of sure that I've seen like a brand new quest from you. Follow up. The monkeys of Nadia's escape. Okay, oh wait a second, they constantly attack me, those bastards. Okay, so she seems to be freed and she's going to Crossroads. And we get a trinket from it. Nice, so we've got like a Battlemaster trinket that increases our health by 100 for 20 seconds. Pretty damn weak, to be fair. Restores 30 mana every 1 second for 10 seconds. And okay, and your attack power is increased by 60. Every second this bonus is reduced by 3. Probably Talisman of the Warrior or of the Sorcerer. Well, I don't have the best mana efficiency, like, you know, spamming Crusader Strike is quite expensive, I'm not gonna lie, but the thing is, that extra attack power for like those elite guys and stuff could probably get more handy. Although the mana trinket, this is like half of my mana pool at the moment. In tight situations, it still could be really good, so... Oh, there's this night elven party in here. I do wonder if I could be able to get them. If it would be possible to actually kite them around one by one. Let's try and see. Nope, they're elites. There's no way I can do that. I would be like a shaman that can, for example, earthbind them. Then yeah, maybe. But some extra movement speed is actually not gonna save my ass, as they pump damage right into me. Oh, I was supposed to kill the zebras for the dead caracas, as we have to have it to kill the Ishamuhale, or however you spell it, I don't know really. Yeah, we got the water seekers done as well, which means that we're speeding up the process. Unfortunately I haven't farmed too many of those blood shards. Those are usually very useful. Dagger for a wood, which apparently we don't really need. And the tribes at war, there we go, level 24. Oh, that's actually nice, because on 24 we get 2 talent points. And both 2 go into the crit chance. Like with those full talents, now I get 8% crit chance whenever Crusader Strike is up on the target. Which should be almost 100%, so definitely worth it. Okay, since we're level 24 and we possibly could get some upgrades from the trainer, I'm gonna go straight up to Thunderbluff now, as we still have to get the flight path anyway, so... Okay, so the first and most important thing is to actually learn one-handed and two-handed maces. So now we've got all weapons available at our disposal. Since I've got almost 5 gold, I think I'm gonna take a quick look at the weapons. Ultimately, swords are like the best for me, simply because undeads on Epoch also get sword spec. And I found a pretty good one for 1 gold, level 24. 7 strength, 10 stamina, amazing DPS. Like, I'm not gonna get anything better up until like level 30 probably. So it's definitely worth investing at this point. Yeah, this is an amazing weapon. My DPS went up for quite a bit and it gives us 10 stamina, so it's really good damage wise. Yeah, look at this, guys. Just take a look at how amazing does Mulgar look on Ascension Engine when they have the field of view increased. Simply amazing. And the funny thing is that from this place I can see like there are like brand new areas in there, some kind of strange totems and stuff, and there's like a small troll village or something right next to the harpy's nest. We're probably over leveling it, but for Tauren's leveling in this place, probably quite great. Unless there is some kind of secret passage to Desolace, which ultimately I would really love. Oh, that's nice. We've got a new rank of Blessing of Wisdom. That means more mana recovered. Hammer of Justice, that's gonna last for 1 second longer. That's pretty damn great. And a new Blessing of Might, which we don't really use, but I'm gonna take it. Sometimes I throw it onto some other people passing by, so it's like great. So nothing really that new, but the ranks were upgraded nicely. Okay, let's grab the flight path finally, and then we can just simply hardstone back to Camp Taurajo to make the journey a little bit faster. Alright boys, so we're back at Taurajo, and we finally have to head south to finish up Taurajo business. But first, we have to find the Owatanka. But you know what? We've got another alchemy quest, it seems. Dawn Carthon, 20 Swift Whistle, and I'm actually pretty stacked up on those. The massive question is whether this little fella is gonna attack me. I don't think so. He's marked for PvP, but no, I'm free to come actually. Yeah, 2000 XP and 15 silver is actually no joke, and this one's pretty much useless for me. So yeah, it's a free 2000 XP. Awesome stuff. I get some mana potions and heavy wool bandage, so I take that. Oh, look at this, a Zeke. I'm pretty sure that this is like brand new rare in this place. I've never seen like a horse like that around this place. It looks pretty majestic, to be fair. Oh my god, this massive crit. Stolen horn, a dagger. I mean, it does look dope. Nothing fancy for me, but I take a new rare kill any day and night. So it seems that on Ascension, and the funny thing was to look for all those new World Forge items around the world, but it seems that on Epoch, rares are the best new thing. Although I do have to admit that, you know, lower population is actually helping massively to do this. Since, yeah, there's pretty much no competition and pretty much every rare is up all the time, so. Okay, got the Kodo liver. But still no sign of Owatanka around here. It's kind of strange. He usually patrols around here. Hey dude, he's just not here after like 5 minutes of looking, so I'll carry over. I'll come back later. Oh my lord, look at this. There's like some kind of brand new keep on top of the barren mountains. What the hell is this, dude? We do have a quest, the missing law speakers. And the broken, like, caravan? Maybe that's the thing. I don't see any earnings for that. Oh no. Those guys are very high level, dude. Is this like Alliance questing hub or something in this area? Kinda seems to me like a connection between Dustwallow Marsh and the Barrens. Seems like it. Cool new stuff in the Barrens, dude. Oh, yo, the whole elite packs. The problem is that I won't be able to get them down in any shape or form anytime soon. Those guys are just literally too strong. Okay, for the moment we have arrived in the Fields of Giants, so let's just get rid of those. I mean, gather those Slithid eggs. There should also be like a rare mob around here, so let's see if we can find them. You know what, the funny thing is that when I was at Camp Taurajo, I completely forgot to turn in the blood shards of Agamagan, so now I can have some extra buffs, and I didn't even have like the Betrayal from Within quest due to that. So let's go for the strength, agility for more crit as well. It gave me like extra over 1%, which is great. Wisdom gives intellect, Razor Height is great, gives it's extra passive damage, and now we can of course get the speed, which leaves me with only Bloodshot, so I won't get more. But now fully buffed with also lesser strength and health. I'm pretty stacked up, I'm not gonna lie. It's a shame that the Spirit of the Wind only lasts for 5 minutes. Usually it's enough for like to do the trek down south. Okay, so we finally found completely destroyed caravan, like the wagon, burned bones of the Kodo, and where's the quillboar dagger? The missing law speakers. The wreckage looks like it belongs to a cart drawn by a Kodo. Okay, so we are just supposed to bring the evidence back to Taurajo. I thought that we're gonna get like some kind of follow-up for it. But there we go, look at this, like I said, another rare waiting for us, Thunderstomp. I'm not quite sure if this was actually available in Standard Classic. Could be. Not like I can remember all the freaking mobs there are. But yeah, at least it's available, so stun him, finish him off, and we can get some shitty offhand. Never mind. Okay, but since we're already here and we did pick up the quests from the Tauren along the road, let's first bring war to the quillboar. Oh, those guys are actually significantly buffed, to be fair. This guy has almost like 1k HP. That's a lot more than the usual quillboar around this place. Oh, there's the washed up pawn. That's great. It's gonna be another free turn-in quest. And start a new quest. Another hunting one. I mean, there's plenty of them in World of Warcraft overall. In Ashenvale, there's also this hunting quests. But yeah, let's shift back our focus to the quillboar. Now we have to get the items from the Legros soldiers and work our way towards the massive tent to finish off the leader. Oh, the wand was pretty fast actually. That was the first seer kill. And I'm not gonna lie, the Paladin with the Crusader Strike, the extra holy damage is so freaking powerful, and the buffs make it even nicer. Like, I've got 11% crit chance basically, passively, and if I hit him with a Crusader Strike, we get another 3%, so 14% in total. At this level is pretty damn nice, to be fair. Oh, this Orc Bane is actually weaker than his Lieutenant Mage Cuz. And his Lieutenant Mage Cuz actually was. Nice. Benario becomes Parappa the Rapper. Oh my god, that was probably like one of the most hyped game on PlayStation 1 back in the day. Parappa the Rapper. Although I haven't played it. Like, maybe tried it out. But yeah, I've always preferred to just smack some heads. So when MMORPGs showed up on the market, and I got myself a stable internet connection, then yeah, my fate was sealed. Even stronger when World of Warcraft actually showed up. And it seems that after those 20 years, history made a cycle, and yeah, I did start on the private servers, my journey with WoW, and it seems that I'm still continuing it. But yeah, that's also probably because Blizzard don't know how to do a proper version that people want. I mean, just so nice that there are those private servers like Ascension, Turtle WoW, Epoch, that not only expand, you know, like on Classic Plus, but for example Ascension Core, the classless system, which is, to be fair, my favorite from all of those private servers. There's no way you could experience something like that on the original servers. Because, you know, maybe the ideas were actually there, but you know, they can just allow themselves to execute every pretty nice idea they come up with. It's kind of funny, like those grey reinforced chain gloves are actually more expensive than the freaking sword. I just can't get this freaking shield from those guys. I've been killing them for like straight 10 minutes or even more now, and still nothing. Oh, finally, dude. Razormane War Shield. Oh, and we've got the Backstabber. Maybe not the first mob, but that was definitely a lot quicker than the previous ones. And we've got the Knack, the last of their leaders. I just hope that there are not so many stalkers who get to him. He was smoked. Dude, like, I could definitely use some bigger bags than that. I've got only 2 8-slotters and 2 6-slotters, so not so great, to be fair. 12 one and maybe at least 2 10-slot would actually be amazing. Right, now the time has come to finally fight the dwarves. Oh dude, this is gonna be terrible. Like, I'm gonna be running right into the groups of all those guys. They're constantly running away, which is the most annoying thing ever. I need to keep my Crusader Strike or Judgment for the final hit. Oh, Scroll of Strength, another buff. That's what I call fun. Yeah, this is actually a perfect tactic, just to wait for the last hit with the Crusader Strike. And when he starts running, then yeah, just deliver that fatal hit. And see ya, bro. Oh god. That's the worst part, when he actually starts running away and I miss or dodge. Happens. Prospector, Castle Gorm. The cool thing is that it seems that on the Epoch he should drop some kind of item that gives us brand new quest. There we go. The journal is for the current quest and Obsidian Relic is like brand new one. Cool stuff. More new quest is always welcome. Okay, the quest is done. Now we've got plenty of turn-ins, it seems. Here we go, let's turn in the Obsidian Relic. Paladin, I have never seen something like this relic before, but it gives me an uneasy feeling I do not want it. Thunderbluff. The mace look pretty dope, but I already bought myself a lot better item. A weapon, I mean. But yeah, he actually sends us to Thunderbluff with it, so this will have to wait for the moment. I was actually looking for a war mode, but it seems that you just click your icon and go for enable PvP, and I think that this should fix it actually. Oh my god, did you see that shockwave? The question is whether I do get extra XP or not. I don't see any notification or something like that, but who knows, maybe it just happens naturally. Oh, of course, I don't have space in the inventory. But this is a pretty funny thing, because as you can see, I did get 115 herbalism, and this gives me another rank of natural talent that increases the resistance in all schools of magic by 6. Not like super fancy, but very nice addition. Okay, I did pick up the Tears of the Moon quest, which you all guys probably know very well. I think that the last enemy is around level 30, and this could actually be quite tricky part, to be fair. But if I'm lucky, and with some kiting around all those stairs and stuff like that, I think I should be able to manage it. Especially since I'm a paladin. The biggest problem would be when on the retreat, when the respawns start to happen, then yeah, it could definitely be kinda problematic. Oh my god, this dude is like parrying like crazy, man. I missed like 3 initial attacks. Oh, Elixir of Ogre Strength, I need to have it, dude. No way, dude, there's like 2 Titan here. There's no freaking way. Oh shit. Yeah, we pulled pretty much everybody. There's no freaking way. Stun, no. Yeah, and they started respawning, so... Okay, let's just bail out from this quest. There's just no point in doing it anyway. I will waste a lot of time in my life. And it's only 2k XP, so I can do another commission and be done with it. But I did get that nice recipe for the Elixir of Ogre Strength. So, yeah, it's a massive win in this case. Okay, there we go. At least we got rid of these quest items and we do have some space now. Yeah, let's just destroy the helicopter right now. And this should wrap up our business in this area. Unless the new quests have something more in store for us. Okay, so now I just noticed that somebody did ask for group requests on the Barrens border. And it seems that, yeah, it's not exactly Alliance that we've seen previously, but those are just probably the same guys that are placed in Northwatch Hold. And they are simply an area for Horde to quest in. So pretty cool stuff. I definitely always loved Dustwallow Marsh, so we'll step in there along the way. But yeah, let's just destroy the Belmodern flying machine. The funny thing about this quest is that up until not so long ago, I always climbed up this little tower to destroy this thing, while you can always just do this from afar. Because yeah, let's be real, that's how you should destroy an object from afar, throwing a dynamite at it, not, you know, coming up close. Unless it's a bomb and you need to plant it, but you know what I mean. Yeah, let's turn this in Revenge of Garn. And get the Heartstone back to Camp Taraho. Especially that one more turn-in and we're gonna be level 25. Okay, out of hunting turn-ins, it seems. Wash the Pawner. There we go, level 25. This is so freaking good. And we get an additional 1 talent point to spend. It's pretty interesting because I could simply go for Crusade and increase all my damage done against certain type of enemies. I could go Retribution Aura just to increase my damage slightly. Or I could pick up Deflection, which could potentially help me in the future tanking, if that happens, and also increase my potential defensively and offensively while soloing, because yeah, firing an attack completely nullifies opponent's hit, and you instantly counter-attack the enemy, so yeah, I'm gonna go for Deflection. For solo leveling, this is actually great. It's definitely better than just, you know, simple 1% extra damage against certain types of enemies. Okay, let's turn in the new quest about the caravan that we've been looking for some time ago. Attacked by quillboar, this cannot stand Paladin. Blackthorn Ridge. Yeah, so we have to get back to that place once again. I could have expected that. He just simply wants revenge. Oh, 2 players nearby. This is actually heavy traffic, I would say. Okay, let's turn in the weapons of choice. This hammer is actually pretty dope as well. But it's quite expensive also. But since we're at Camp Tarajo and we need to jump back to Thunderclap for a second. Bluff, Thunderclap. I'm gonna go there just to turn in that extra new quest and see if we do get any follow-up before we go once again south. Just to turn out that, you know, there's something more to be done. Okay, at Thunderbluff I can finally learn heavy wool bandage. This is massive because those bandages recover almost 400 HP. So quite a bit, to be fair. And thanks for having quite a lot. Oh, but I still cannot learn. Oh yeah, forgot that in Classic I have to actually gather the books from, I think, Arathi Highlands. Oh no, for the Horde is actually in Dustwallow March to learn past Silk Cloth, so that's good. The Obsidian Relic, let's see. I'm concerned, but I can't give you explanation yet. Allow me to study this relic in more detail. Perhaps my initial analysis is wrong. Okay, so there's no follow-up, it seems. But still, we did learn the new first aid, which is still good. Although, yeah, I will be stuck for some time with it. Oh, and after speaking with the guard, I did find a war mode recruiter. Let me at the Alliance Filth sign me up and roll me into the war. This will enter you into war mode, semi-permanent flying EPB combat. You'll receive bloody tokens, which can be exchanged for a variety of cosmetics and consumables. Return here to exit war mode, which is scaling gold cost based on leveling ranging from 1 gold. Yeah, I do want to. Experience gained increased by 5% only, reputation also, and a chance for bloody tokens. Okay, 5% is nothing really that massive, to be fair. But yeah, I guess that some extra XP is always nice to have. And wait a minute, there's like a quest called to skirmish. Oh, but this is like for exact zones, it seems. I will be going to Hillsbrad Foothills and grab it. 1,000 needles, not yet. So I'm going to keep Hillsbrad Foothills for the moment. That's kind of interesting, to be fair. It's a shame that the population isn't really that high. But yeah, I believe personally that the good times will come. Many people still complain that, you know, the announcements weren't like, not all people were pinged and stuff like that, but let's face it. If somebody was interested in Epoch in the first place, they already know, so I think that people wait for like a massive wave of population to move to Epoch, but it's hard because many have actually invested in some other servers, for example, like Bronzebeard. And yeah, I do understand that they don't want to sacrifice their characters and all the progress, so that's why it's still kind of stale. I mean, the server. Oh dude, I can create like crazy amounts of healing potions. That's so good. Okay, I guess it's time to get rid of the minor rejuvenation potions. I don't need them anymore. But yeah, the recipe for Ogre Strength is actually 150, so it's still kind of far away. Oh, I can already create a crude Philosopher's Stone. I haven't seen that, dude. It's a trinket. It only gives 3 spirit, but increases the effect that potions have on the wearer. Dude, really? I need like heavy stone. That's crazy. The problem is that there are not so many items on the auction house, and I can have a little bit of a problem to find this item. Oh, thank God. We've got this guild bank character. That's nice. I've got everything to prepare my first Philosopher's Stone. 40% increase in healing. It's kind of massive. It's like from 350 to almost 500. An extra spirit is always nice for some, you know, mana regen. There we go, Philosopher's Stone. Oh, strong troll elixir is actually quite good, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, unfortunately I still miss like 5 skill points to be able to get to the new one, but yeah, we'll eventually get there. I'm still pretty impressed that I can keep up with my professions. But yeah, now it's time to go to the crossroads to turn in the other quests and then head back to Ratchet to finish off the other business. Okay, Betrayal from Within, let's turn this in. Unfortunately, we don't get anything good for us. The XP is nice, like 3000. Tilted Eggs has 9 stamina and 1 spirit, but mine got strength and reinforced armor, so it's straight up better. It's a shame that the Barrens don't actually have this reputation NPC, because we've done so many quests in here. And we can finally tell Mankirks that we have found his wife. Maybe he has already seen her. Can begin to express my gratitude. Now it comes down to the trinket. Warrior of the Sorcerer. I'm gonna go for the Sorcerer, I think. Although 300 mana isn't really that great as well. No, let's go for the Warrior. Nice, having both trinkets on level 25. Pretty cool stuff. But yeah, this is what Classic Plus is all about, I guess. Okay, returning this quest real quick. And now let's find Ishamuhale. Okay, let's find some Zebra real quick, as I need to have some Caracas. And there we go, little raptor. Oh my god, he got one-shotted. He's level 19, not so low. We dealt 453 damage instantly. Crusader Strike hit, melee hit, crit. Seal of Righteousness, it wasn't even empowered by Crusader Strike because it didn't manage to do so. With both crits, the damage would be even higher. Okay, we've completed Ishamuhale, now 3 Thunder Lizard Blood. Oh, those are actually coming from the ones nearby. Oh, we've got a recipe, Elixir of Growth, Giant Growth. That's pretty funky. Your size is increased and your strength goes up by 8 to match your size. Deviate Fish. I definitely don't have those. It doesn't matter because it only lasts 2 minutes, so probably just some fancy effect of becoming massive. Never mind, but yeah, good that a lot of great alchemy recipes are dropping. Okay, now we just need to find a Thunderhawk. And yeah, there's plenty of them on our way south. We're going to be heading to complete the new quest. Oh nice, there's a Thunderhawk plus King's Blood next to it. Very, very nice combo. Quest item gathered, King's Blood also. It's fun. After the other will be like this another quest that leads us to Ratchet. To kill that massive beast in the water. I don't know. If I will be missing just some XP to level up, maybe I'll go do it. If not, then I will probably go straight up to Foothills. So I don't have the same situation like I did in Silverpine Forest, where I over-leveled pretty much like half of the quests when I came back from the Barrens. Oh, okay, so this quest is actually not about killing the Razormane quillboars, but collecting all the stuff from around this place. I mean, I didn't notice while doing the previous quest that there are some kind of strange, like, foreign boxes. But yeah, I didn't happen to know that this can be connected to that quest, so... Oh, perfect spot. One more box and the solid chest. And this is a solid, so... Solid loot, I presume, right? Oh, nice stuff. This is mailed up pretty shitty. I guess I'm gonna take everything. I'll be coming back to Taurajo anytime soon. Yeah, last box, and we're going back. Oh yeah, I just remembered on my way back that I haven't killed Owatanka just yet. And thankfully it seems that he's up right next to Camp Taurajo. And there we go. Free quest. Okay, so let's first see what does the Tarn have to say about the brand new quest. Oh, thank you for recovering the scrolls, but wait, where is the Triad? Oh, there's a very nice quest in here with nice amulet rewards, but it happens in Razwolf and Crawl. So either way, we're still too low level for that. But yeah, very good option for the future, I guess. Then we got to turn in Owatanka, and yeah, we are being sent to Ratchet, but to be fair, it's not gonna change that much. So I guess I will be on my way back to Undercity and then straight up to Hillsbrad Foothills. Overall, there's plenty of quests for 25, and who knows, maybe hopefully we find something new as well. I settle back into the Epoch and do a quick who prompt to see how many people actually there are online. Around 350 players. Not amazing, but not that either. It feels like the server is waiting for something bigger. Maybe official announcements, maybe a spark. Still, it's enough. Enough to keep going. I've only just arrived in Hillsbrad and I realize I haven't even picked up my quest yet. Rookie mistake. I start sweeping through the town, grabbing everything I can. And immediately I notice something new, a quest I've never seen before, burnt to a crisp. burn Syndicate supplies inside the barracks of Durnhold Keep. That alone tells me everything. Epoch isn't just rebalancing, it's expanding. Then there's battle for Hillsbrad, Hillsbrad Assault, tower defense objectives. PvP hooks layered directly into the zone. It almost feels like a proper warfront now. I've got call to arms turned on too, so if PvP happens, I'm ready. But in fact, this main problem still is that there's not that much population online to see a constant PvP flow, so yeah, that's definitely a problem. More quests pile in. Kill Archmage Zygor. Funny name, considering Zygor is practically synonymous with questing add-ons. Profession commissions too. Herbalism orders for life root, bandage turn-ins, elixirs of suffering. Nothing glamorous, but the XP adds up fast. One commission alone promises nearly 3000 experience. That's huge at this level. I accept everything, I'll worry about the logistics later. By the time I'm done, my quest log looks ridiculous, but in a good way. Before heading out, I remember there's a weaponsmith in town. I check it just in case. Executioner's sword. It's nice, but too low level for now. A few tempting one-handers, but I'm not tanking just yet, so I just simply move on. Out in the fields, Hillsbrad feels alive in that hostile, uneasy way it always has. Bears, spiders, farmers, Syndicate everywhere. I start working through the early objectives, bear tongues, spider legs, and this is where the Paladin changes really shine. Crusader Strike is baked with Seal of Crusader now, meaning every hit not only deals solid damage, but amplifies all holy damage taken by the target. I don't have to juggle seals anymore, it just simply flows perfectly. Pull with Crusader Strike, Judgment, seal ticks, everything is holy damage except auto attack, and therefore everything hurts. The spider those are very stubborn, equal level and annoying. Level 25 mobs demand attention, but my sustain is strong. Epoch's increased health regen means I barely touch Holy Light in between the fights. One quick heal here and there, and that's it. Bandages and Cannibalize are enough for it. Mana matters more now though. Crusader Strike spam adds up, so I start playing smarter, batching abilities, waiting out to 5-second rule, letting mana tick back before unloading the burst again. It may be less damage overall, but definitely more sustain, and it simply works. Bears drop tongues easily, but spiders? Absolute misery. I kill dozens, nothing. Classic drop rates never change. Along the way I ding level 26 though, and I grab deflection immediately. Extra parries mean extra counterattacks. Survivability and offense rolled into one talent. Perfect for solo leveling. And if we do get some kind of poison on ourselves, or disease, cleanse it all. Paladin utility never gets old. As I move closer to Durnhold, I feel it again, that sense of scale. The keep looms ahead, familiar, but quite different. New quests, new enemies. I climbed the nearby Thoradin's wall for old time's sake. The view still hits the same. Some things never lose their magic, especially since Ascension took over Epoch, and the view range has been vastly increased. Beautiful sights. Back on the ground, I noticed something strange. Syndicate mobs are elite now, all of them. It clicks immediately. This isn't just cosmetic. Epoch turned Durnhold into full elite content, almost dungeon-like. That's why people were shouting for groups in Hillsbrad earlier. No way I'm soloing this. Still, I clear what I can on the outskirts. The rogues and watchmen here are non-elite, so lower level, slower, more predictable. Consecration goes down, Crusader Strike crits fly, undead cannibalism keeps me topped off, being an undead paladin feels borderline illegal sometimes. Once those are done, I head back towards the farms. Farmers and farmhands, human skulls needed. This part is pure frustration. They run early, they pull friends, they scatter like roaches. I start using fences for line of sight, dragging them into corners, forcing them to fight. Crusader Strike into Judgment or nothing at all. Without a debuff, Judgment hits like a wet noodle. Consecration damage nearly doubles with Crusader Strike applied. That alone makes the entire kit feel cohesive, like every ability feeds the next. Chests pop up occasionally, mostly junk, 1 or 2 small upgrades, nothing really game changing. Eventually, one by one, the farmers fall. Calabar patrols awkwardly and finally goes down as well. Some scrolls drop like strength or agility. Those are small buffs, but I take them all day, everything helps. With the farms cleared and my bags heavier, I pause, because most of my current objectives are done now. The rest, elite content and Durnhold. I decided to not heart yet though. I walk back instead, scanning for more herbs, as I'm one more bruiseweed away and I can finally push my alchemy forward. Ogre's strength is so close, I can taste it. Just one more node. Just one more step for this chunky buff. Blood strength, the raw damage, massive, exactly what I want right now. The rewards give me some ring that I decide to swap, and I do lose a bit of agility and crit, but I gain stamina. I'll always take stamina. Survivability matters, especially where I'm headed next. Quest completed, and immediately another one pops up. Kill 15 peasants. 15! That's a lot of bodies. Hillsbrad is about to get even messier. Before heading out, I need supplies. Not a general vendor, no, I need bottles. Alchemy bottles. I find a tradesman, grab a stack of leaded vials, and finally get to work. I craft strong troll's blood potions, push my alchemy to 150, and there it is. The elixir of ogre strength, learn. I can make 15 of them if I want. Absolutely insane. I do hold back though, my bags are already struggling and I'll gather more herbs naturally as I go, so I can then make them when I need them. And then I notice that there's another alchemy quest staring at me. Something about the fire, but fishing required, so I say immediate no, as I'm not really into fishing. Although at this point I start thinking bigger. Durnhold, elite quests. So I whisper a nearby player, see if they're interested. Turns out they are. Perfect timing. I'm almost 27 anyway, and that extra level will make elites way more manageable. Still, I need about 5000 XP, so peasant quests that is. The farms are packed. Level 23-24 mobs, technically easy, but they're the worst kind. Runners as previously. Pull one, and suddenly half of the field is joining in. One footman aggroes from what feels like halfway across Hillsbrad, and for a second it looks really ugly. But I do manage it. No bubble needed, good sign. The peasants scatter constantly, dragging me into even more fights, which means more chaos. Now I understand why the ground is littered with corpses. Bubble misses start creeping in, which is frustrating as you cannot just finish off that one single foe. But eventually, I just simply push through. One last kill, and ding, level 27. And now, things get really interesting. I pick up Sun City Aura, 14% increased holy damage for my party. That's actually huge. I test it immediately, and yeah, it's noticeable. Almost all of my damage is holy based, therefore every hit feels heavier. And we're about to group with a priest, so that aura is going to do some serious work. With the peasants finally done, I craft a few support items for my group. Elixir of Wisdom for the priest, just a standard classic style courtesy to buff your group. Always remember to do that. Hillsbrad is busy, but mostly with higher level players. I whisper around again, asking about the Durnhold elites. Eventually it comes together, a priest and a druid tank, and me, of course. Perfect group. Honestly, I couldn't ask for better. We buff up, Ogre strength goes out for druid, wisdom elixirs for the priest, everyone's almost glowing from the buffs. 4 quests lined up, most of them already green, so they should be smooth. And stepping into the Durnhold now, simply wow. This isn't just ruins anymore, this is a fully fledged out keep. Tents, buildings, interiors, sewers, towers, completely remade. I wasn't expecting this at all. Epoch didn't just tweak things here, they completely rebuilt it, and I absolutely love it. The priest plays aggressively but clean, mind soothe everywhere, perfect pulls, mana under control. The druid handles line of sight pulls like a veteran. We melt through elites that we would have been a nightmare to solo. We burn supplies, clear buildings, stun the runners before they escape. Everything flows perfectly, the synergy between us is there. These are the moments Classic is built on, small groups, careful pulls, and shared danger. So we push deeper. It turns out that there is a fully rebuilt mage tower here as well, in which heavily guarded mage Zygo resides. Like I mentioned previously, its name is kind of funny considering that it's a massive leveling add-on creator. Road upstairs wasn't that hard, as mages are more squishy overall, so they just die faster. Zygor himself simply falls over at sight, so we jump down and head into the keep, as supposedly there's an item that starts a new quest in here. The keep is swarming with enemies, so it's harder to navigate without fighting everyone. I take a sneak peek at the cellar, but it turns out to be empty. The item we look for is actually guarded by the boss. In the main throne room, we finally kill another mage that leaves us the Syndicate plans, and it's finally time comes to dive deep into the Durnhold sewers, hidden in a brand new tower and area. Upon entering, it turns out that there is no minimap of this place, so navigation can be hard. And to top it all off, this place just keeps expanding. It feels like a mini stockades hidden inside Durnhold. Jailers, shadowcasters, tight corridors. Aggro range really feels strange. Sometimes forgiving, sometimes terrifying. But of course, we adapt. I get charmed at one point for the whole 15 seconds, and a Will of Forsaken seems to not work at all, which is very strange. These mobs have some illegal tricks, it seems. Eventually we find our target, the imprisoned orc, but before we can free him, we need a key, of course. The final elite jailer goes down pretty cleanly, so we grab our loot and go back to complete the quest. The loot rolls in, pretty solid upgrades, stamina heavy gear, nothing insane but meaningful. Then comes the escort, and of course the AI is awful. The orc sprints off immediately, zigzagging into the packs like he's made of paper. We scramble to control pulls, stun mobs, try to keep him alive. Everything respawns, it's complete chaos, I tell you. But thanks to us, it's controlled chaos, exactly the good kind. We fight our way back through the keep, across bridges, down holes we already cleared once. The priest pumps damage, the druid pulls aggressively to save time. I hold the cooldowns to finish runners before they escape. Drop consecration when it's safe. Eventually, somehow we make it out. The quest is completed, multiple turn-ins are ready, and I'm almost level 28. Standing there after ward, catching my breath, I realize why this feels so good. This isn't just leveling, this is adventure, gathering strangers, forming a party, tackling content that actually requires thought and coordination. Durnhold isn't just a stop on the leveling path anymore, it's a story, and honestly, I can't wait to see what's next. Eventually, we head toward Humber's sword quest, already knowing deep down that there's probably no follow-ups for this quest anyway, and we are in the neighborhood. Then suddenly the priest stays behind. He simply just stops, AFK with a warring. Fine, whatever. I tell myself we can do all this. If things go sideways, I can always heal. That's the quiet confidence of Paladin. Slow, methodical, but stubbornly alive. We start pulling anyway. It turned out that the priest was writing a message to help him understand one of his talents. Spirit Tap doesn't proc unless you get the killing blow, party or not. So if you're a priest, you fish for those last hits with Mind Blast and Holy Fire like your life depends on it. Because it kinda does. That's just the way how game works. All in all, first dwarf goes down very cleanly, and it turns out that it was our blessed kill as we straight up get the quest item. These are more generous than the spiders from before, definitely. I really think about hardstoning out, but there's no point. We're all turning things in anyway. I'll save it for solo questing for later. Instead, I cut through the lake, keeping an eye for the life roots. I'll need them eventually. Alchemists always do. Then the turn-ins start rolling in. Big ones. R20 Zygor, done. The ring drops, but mine's better. Still, it's a solid priest loot. Durnhold Extermination rewards a wand. Great if you're into that playstyle. Otherwise, Syndicate plans only 1000 XP and no follow-up. Strange, maybe a little disappointing considering that we had to cut through the whole keep to get it, but I guess it's fine. Adventure was amazing. Then the leggings, pure DPS stats. I lose 6 stamina but gain crit and damage. And honestly, they look a lot better than the pants I had before, and that matters more than people admit. And sure enough, Humber's sword has no follow-up. Just like I remembered, no surprise there. We then do everything eventually, fast and efficient, and suddenly I realize how good that party felt. No rush, no nonsense, just solid classic teamwork. We're almost level 28 now, so I could train Paladin abilities, but I'm leaving Hillsbrad soon anyway, so I might as well just push forward. I pivot towards Alchemy though. Elixir of Agony, Monster Blossoms, I'll need those later when the quest asks me to poison someone near the farms. That's a sentence only World of Warcraft could make me feel normal. Eventually, we make our way to the nearby farm, where our druid friend steals all the mushrooms for the quest. There are gnolls everywhere, chain lightnings flying around, gnolls healing themselves endlessly. The heat ramps up fast because I pulled too many mobs at once. I try to hardcast Holy Light under the pressure, but eventually only the lay on hands save my life, barely. And then, ding, level 28. It hits like a miracle. Extra damage, extra survivability, but most importantly, full health, so I can breathe again. The gnolls are relentless, but I'm still standing, and notice the mushrooms have already respawned, so it's easy now with all of them dead. From there, I go straight up back into the farms, decide to kill the blacksmith before hardstoning back. No reason to backtrack, efficiency matters. I collect shipments of iron as my druid friend have already cleared the whole place from the blacksmiths and his apprentices. But after the respawn they fall quickly. The blacksmith follows. Weapons drop, but they're worthless. Those are like early weapons from like first towns, so they never sell well, but still it fills the appearance collections. So eventually I just simply heart out. The gold piles up, slowly but surely, and that's the classic way. On the city calls and Paladin training awaits. After the quick journey, the training is done. I get some new ranks of spells like Seal of Righteousness or Flash of Light. Nothing game breaking, but it all adds up. We're already level 28, and Hillsbrad will probably push me to 29 easily, and after that probably go to Barrens and follow up to 1000 Needles. So eventually, back at Hillsbrad, I finished the Elixir of Agony, something I've never actually completed before, because Strong Stroll's Blood is one of the requirements, and usually I don't always have Alchemy on my characters, so this time's different. Apart from that, we have to kill some Nagas and Murlocs that line the shores. They are plentiful, but they overlevel me quite massively. Alliance usually handles them later, but this time they're mine. The Nagas hit hard. Shadow Word Pain nearly kills me. I stabilize, adapt, and push through. Eventually, while passing next to the south shore, I notice a strange boat appears, and it's a very nice addition from Epoch that actually transport you back and forth from Menethil Harbor. I ride it just because I can, but eventually it turns other way, so I just simply jump off. Although, a very cool staff addition. So, we get the Murlocs down, and all of those 5 kills give us required items. The quest is done. Then it's back to Hillsbrad Farms, that will one day become an undead abomination factories in the future expansions, which I can't really blame after this massive genocide at the farmlands. Inside the town hall, I confront Horus Wystead. Fewer guards than expected actually. We sweep through the place and the council falls. The proclamation burns, and quest suddenly completed. I get back to town for Tinsin and skill up alchemy. Greater healing potions unlocked. This is huge, but they actually need a life root. It's always the freaking life root. Only the mine quests remain now. The Keg quest stays unfinished as too many elites in Dungar rocks, so I just simply pass for today. So we start off already deep in the 1000 Needles. The first order of business was clearing out a few wyverns before starting an escort. Standard stuff, or at least it should have been. The NPC I was supposed to protect turned out to be the laziest escort target imaginable. He hit hard, insanely hard actually, but only when he felt like it. If I pulled mobs, he would just stand there chilling, walking past me. If they touch him first though, suddenly he was a monster, slapping things for triple-digit damage. Typical escort logic. I marked him so I wouldn't lose track of him, grabbed the chest on the side, and just simply hoped the quest wouldn't fail because I got greedy as I would be too far away from the Tauren. Somehow everything just worked. The ambush at the end never really ambushed. Wyverns showed up and then just sort of existed without engaging. The NPC didn't care. I didn't complain. Easiest escort of my life. Sometimes the game just hands you a win and you don't ask questions. With that done, 1000 Needles started to open up. New quests everywhere. Kill targets, collection quests, counterattacks against central camps. This was exactly what this zone needed. Before, it always felt like an empty, like a giant canyon with nothing to say. Now, it felt just simply more alive. It gave you more XP, more reasons to explore, and more stories being told through quests instead of just terrain. I tracked down a centaur leader that was a part of new quest hiding in his tent, expecting something scary, maybe an elite, but he actually folded instantly. Loot was everywhere, mostly food, which was funny, but also a solid chest nearby and a small gear upgrade. Nothing insane, but it all adds up. That's kind of magic of Epoch and its new quest additions. You're rarely stuck grinding mindlessly on high level brackets. There's always something nudging you forward until level 60. As I moved on, I kept an eye out for Steelsnap, the elusive roaming elite who could be anywhere between the needles. He wasn't around though. Funnily enough, I can slip a little spoiler here. I wasn't able to find him until the end of the video, so I just carried on. Hyenas, cloud serpents, venom drops, classic drop quest bane. You kill 5 mobs, get 1 item, and then you question your life choices. Add in harpies to the mix that were level 30 plus, and suddenly things get real. Pulling carefully became mandatory. Judgment pulls, line of sight, outranging cast tricks. Every part of the toolkit mattered. One mistake and things spiraled fast. The Harpy Cave was actually really brutal. Silences everywhere, I missed a lot due to the level differences, respawns coming in like crazy, everything stacked against me. When I finally arrived at the quest area, I started opening the crates to summon the Garenka Harpy party. The trick to that quest is that 3 waves of harpies come at our way with small time spaces between each other, so we have to kill them fast. I'm a paladin, and the 3 mobs were harpies creatures, therefore they apply 7-second silence pretty regularly, so I could forget about using spells. Also, I wanted to keep my cooldowns for as long as possible for the toughest last wave, when the boss actually shows up. I did wipe once, but I regrouped, stocked up once again with potions from Alchemy, and went back in with a plan. Clear patrols first, set the full control over the room, save the cooldowns, and don't panic. Slowly, methodically, it started to work. One pull at a time, stun at the right moment, I tried to unleash my burst as soon as possible to kill the group without healing, and before being actually silenced to death, drinking water between fights like my life depending on, because it actually did. When the final waves came, it turned out I held everything. No babble needed, no lay on hands, just patience. And somehow, against all expectations, it actually worked. The last harpies dropped, my health stabilized, and I realized I hadn't even need half of my cooldowns. All that stress and that planning, and suddenly it was over. Although having that Philosopher's Stone from Alchemy did help a lot, as it increases potion effectiveness by 40%. This means that up-to-date potions can get you back to full health. Pretty overpowered if you ask me. I already had enough of those harpies, so I decided not to fight them on my way out once again. I popped my swiftness potion, bubbled when I got dazed, and jumped out, barely alive, but victorious in the end. Standing there at the end, heart still racing, I couldn't help but laugh, as it was not the harpies that almost killed me this time, but the final jump, as my bubble faded away in the very last moment. Lucky bastard. From there, I stayed alert as I moved through the 1,000 needles, constantly scanning the horizon for 2 things in particular: these venom-dropping mobs I still needed, as they were pretty scarce in the area, and the Steelsnap, the roaming elite who might as well have been a myth at this point. I dealt with elementals first before heading toward the pinnacles, since this is all tied into the Arikara chain, and that's when I realized I'd messed up something. I was convinced that a quest started here, but no, you still have to go back to Thunderbluff eventually, as the quest does start in 1,000 Needles, but the follow-up for the Arikara itself is being picked up at Thunderbluff. And there we go, so much for being efficient. The mobs weren't making things easier either. Casts flying everywhere, damage coming in a way harder than expected. I even forgot mid-fight that I needed to loot items off the ground instead of just killing everything on autopilot. At least, I picked up some swim speed potions on the way, one of those things you don't need often, but when you do, you're glad you have them. I overpulled and survived anyway, and then nearly got my face smashed in when the damage spiked out of nowhere. I stunned the foe, barely stabilized, and then finally something went right. A shoulder upgrade dropped. Leather, sure, but it had actual stats, unlike the nothing I was wearing before. Its intellect and stamina, instant upgrade, I didn't even hesitate. Respawns here were wild. Items were popping back almost immediately, so all I had to do was just swim between two close points. And then I suddenly spotted it, a rare elemental perched awkwardly on the ledge, just out of reach. Unfortunately, as a paladin, I have no ranged pull, and there's awkward terrain, as always in classic Thousand Needles, so I dragged the fight somewhere safer from the water, took some serious hits along the way, but then I just parried at the right time and then did what every solo player should remember. I jumped. Line of sight, terrain abuse, fences, ledges, these are your best friends when you're fighting elites or rares, especially if you're not a class with strong self-healing. I jumped down, healed up in the water, and forced the mob to take the long way around. By the time it reached me, I was full health and ready. Clean kill, no cooldowns burned. I even noticed another paladin passing by. Funny how people say nobody plays this, yet I keep seeing players everywhere. Sure, it was late, but the world didn't feel dead at all. With my quests pushing me back to Thunderbluff anyway, I figured I would use the travel time smartly. New spells were waiting there, Seal of Light in particular, which would be huge for soloing tougher enemies. With Crusader Strike already baking in Seal of Crusader on Epoch, I had the freedom to run utility seals instead. Mana or healing, being judgmented on the target, were actually options that mattered. Before leaving, I double-checked my quest log and realized I'd missed a chain that bounced between Orgrimmar and Thunderbluff before sending you back here. But I guess I'm gonna do this later. While circling the zone yet again, still no Steel Snap, I started looking for a Razov and Crawl group. New year, old dungeon, sounded perfect. I whispered pretty much everybody, and actually responses started flooding in. Slowly, a group came together. Tank secured, another paladin, a fury warrior, and a healer secured. Perfect, until I realized that the corpse maker I'm aiming at can be rolled by 4 persons out of 5 in the group. By the time we reached the meeting stone, the group looked stacked. The tank was over-leveled and geared with whirlwind axe on his back already, and I knew immediately how this was going to go. Fast, violent, and messy, in the best way. Although, after some inspecting, it turned out that other paladin is protection, so tanking, and second warrior is the fury spec, so he probably doesn't need corpse maker after all, so it shouldn't be that bad after all. The dungeon started brutally, massive pulls, mobs evaporating. The warrior was an absolute monster, cleaving everything into dust. I tried to keep up at least a little, but by spreading Crusader Strike, dropping Consecration, and watched things melt. Mana vanished instantly though, classic paladin life, but the healer was so good his mana bar barely moved. So I tried to utilize my spiritual attunement that did give me back some mana occasionally, but nothing that really mattered. Experience was terrible because of how overleveled the tank was. We were literally getting 1 XP for 3/4 of the dungeon. The bright side was that bosses started dropping quest items, which was a relief because I had no idea where half of them were supposed to come from. Epoch adding those directly to bosses was a great call after all. Amazing leather shoulders dropped from one of the bosses, but I was unlucky and the Fury Warrior got them. They looked so nice. We pushed deeper, with bigger pulls and more chaos. At one point, I deliberately stood in damage, just so the priest would have to heal me and give me mana back. It worked. Sometimes, but it worked. Then came the Overlord Ramtusk finally, 14,000 health. This was it, the moment I've been waiting for. The axe, my dream. It wasn't that easy to be honest. His massive health pool kept him alive pretty long, and from time to time he smacked random people like crazy. But eventually he went down, of course. And no axe though, not even the helmet. Some green shite that nobody needs. This is classic. But I was quite disappointed, I'm not gonna lie. I finished the custom quest from the Epoch from that boss, which means nice necklaces are waiting, but it stung hard as I hadn't gotten a weapon upgrade since the mid-20s, and here I was, level 30, still swinging the same old thing. Although gold was piling up, the auction house might have to save me. The dungeon kept going, more insane pulls, and people are nearly dying. I'm bubbling to survive. At one point I made a stupid mistake though. I was really glad I'm not hardcore. While crossing one of the bridges, I was fooling around with my spacebar and accidentally strafed left before jumping. It turned out that I made a very clean jump down into the valley full of elites. Well, I was attacked straight away, and the priest said I was just trying to die in a spot from which he can resurrect me back at top. Thankfully, it did work out, but that was true Damas move. Going further through the RFK, at least a little bit of XP started flowing now, as I was creeping closer to a level 31. Boss by boss, we pushed through. I picked up some small upgrades, a helm especially, which was pretty good with plenty of stamina and intellect, especially that I had only a cosmetic hood before. But the funny thing was the looks of that helmet. It was a true wizard hat, so now I looked like some kind of cheap battle mage. Classic vanilla appearance when nothing fits on you. Progress is progress though. Eventually we reached the Chargela Razzleflank. She was a little bit of a high level for me, but the only trick she had up her sleeve was constant bubbling that was just delaying the inevitable. Finally she fell and the level ding came, 31. Sanctified Judgment unlocked. Finally some real mana sustain. That alone made the whole run feel worth it. After that, we did jump down and start the escort, but the Paladin said he's out. I was considering doing it too, but my heartstone was set in 1000 needles, so I still had a long way to turn in all of the quests, so I decided to stay. The worst part was that those mobs were pretty low level, so we get still only 1 XP, and the goblin was so freaking slow. But we needed a way out anyways, so we pushed through. By the time we finished the escort at the end, I was exhausted but satisfied. The loot hadn't been insane, the axe never dropped, but the run itself was solid. Old school chaos, big pulls, some close calls, overall a very good group composition. In the end, I hearted back to Fruent Post anyways, because I had full bags and I was already thinking about Thunderbluff, new spells and the next stretch of the journey. By the time I wrapped up my turn-ins, it finally felt like things were clicking into place. One quest rolled cleanly into the next. Striking back finished, a follow-up immediately popping up asking me to hunt down Khan Abonhort at the post. That alone felt good. No dead ends, no awkward pauses. And the rewards? Surprisingly solid. Rings with stamina and strength, exactly the kind of quiet upgrades that don't look flashy but absolutely carry you forward. As I kept turning things in, it became clear how interconnected these new epoch quests really were. Hypogryph work, commission quests layered on top, those in particular stood out. Commission quests just felt good, big chunks of XP, meaningful objectives, and they respect your time. You do the work, you feel the payoff immediately. One turn-in particular hit hard, the new quest in Camp Taurajo. The reward window popped up and I actually stopped for a second. Stamina, agility, strength, health per second, everything I want while leveling, and a massive chunk of experience on top of it. That's the kind of reward that makes the travel worth it. And the dungeon, of course. But speaking of travel, it was time for a long one. Thunderbluff was calling. I had dungeon quests to turn in, trainer upgrades waiting, and level 30 paladin spells that were going to fundamentally change how smooth leveling felt from here on out. Seal of Light alone was worth the trip. Sustain is everything when you're solving tougher mobs, and this was going to push that survivability even further. I hadn't managed to track down Steel Snap, which was a shame. One more missed turn-in, but it wasn't the end of the world. I would be back in 1000 Needles anyway, there was still plenty left to do. I sorted through the rewards carefully. Belt upgrades, cloth shoulders I didn't need, bucklers that almost tempted me. One belt in particular was absurdly good though. The reward for killing end boss of RFK. Strength, stamina, just clean value. Instant equip. I did check out the auction house, dreamed a little. Cobalt Crasher stared back at me for 34 gold like a cruel joke. Burning War Axe, 14 gold. Tempting, painfully tempting. It would have been a massive upgrade, but draining myself dry right before Paladin training just didn't make sense. Especially that after Epoch rework of Paladin, big chunk of our damage is still holy, so it's not that bad. At the trainer we finally learned Seal of Light. Consecration improved, blessings unlocked, divine intervention sitting there like a future promise, and looming on the horizon, seals that would turn AoE combat into something beautiful. Even if some of these abilities wouldn't shine just yet, the foundation was being laid. Seal of Light though, that was the real prize. With Crusader Strike already handling Seal of the Crusader passively on Epoch, I finally had a meaningful seal to judge and maintain. Mana sustain or healing sustain depending on the situation. In 3 words, choice, flexibility, and control. I turned in Sacred Fire, up and picked up the Arikara's chain and got ready for more traveling. From there, we headed to Crossroads to pick up a Thousand Needles quest chain start, and then to Orgrimmar. After that, we headed to Dustwallow Marsh, as I needed the first aid books. No sense of wasting silk cloth when I could be making proper bandages and getting the skill ups. It was really quiet there, dangerous mobs nearby, but nothing I couldn't sleep past. I just wanted the box, the skill unlocks, and to be gone. Gold disappeared faster than I liked it, as it was pretty expensive, but now I wouldn't have to be coming back. Future-proofing always feels good. On the flight back toward Thousand Needles, I thought to myself that I really badly need that weapon upgrade, but on the second thought, Scarlet Monastery was just around the corner. Ravager, graveyard weapons, armory dreams, the path forward was clear and generous. Thousand Needles opened up beneath me again, the expanded view range on Epoch making it look almost unreal beautiful, but slightly broken in some places. Still, there was more legwork to do. I skipped the elevator and jumped straight down with the bubble on, faster, cleaner, more efficient. Turned in the Garenka claws, grabbed the follow-up, hunt the Rock Alim the Pounder, and scythe a little when the XP wasn't as hard as I hoped. Still, another elite, another goal, and then I headed back to the cozy tents of the Ruined Post, as that felt like the perfect place to stop to get some rested XP before the new adventures, as Thousand Needles still had plenty left to throw at me. So to start off, we continue our journey through the Thousand Needles, as there was still a lot of left to do. I needed to kill Steel Snap, defeat Rock Alim, clear out the pinnacles, and deal with a bunch of stalkers hiding around the area. After that, the plan was to head into the desert part of Thousand Needles, which I've always liked. So I decided to start from the western side and slowly work my way east. Simple plan. On the way, I finally decided to do something smart. Someone in the YouTube comments had suggested making a macro to target Steel Snap, so I made one, slapped it on my F key, and fully committed to spamming the living hell out of it. I had no idea how to mark targets properly, but honestly, if I could just find him, that was good enough. Normally, I've never had trouble finding Steel Snap in the past, but this time he refused to cooperate. He didn't stick to the road, so I followed the western paths instead. That's when things got interesting, as the Rock Alim showed up. He had almost 4000 HP, so at first I thought, okay, this might hurt, but surprisingly he barely hit me for about 80 damage per swing. Compared to previous elites, there was nothing. I relaxed a bit, but it turned out that was a mistake. Mid-fight, more mobs joined in, one of which was a rare monster, and suddenly things went from easy to oh no. I burned cooldowns, panicked, and eventually hit lay on hands like my life depended on it, because it actually did. Unfortunately, I got dazed and Blessing of Freedom doesn't work on such slows, and eventually I was smacked down to death. On my way back though, I noticed that I did manage to loot Rock Alim in the last moment, and apart from quest item, we also received a nice shoulder piece. It wasn't a massive upgrade, just one stamina more, but still, totally worth the heart attack. The only problem was that I had blown everything, especially lay on hands. So now, if Steel Snap turns out to be spicy, I was cooked, but I shrugged it off and moved on, pretending confidence was the same thing as preparation. While moving on, I noticed other players around. People often say this server feels empty, and yeah, it's not crowded, but it's not that either. I kept seeing players while leveling, and we even managed to run some dungeon. The population was around 400 at that point, so slowly growing. Not fast, but steady. That got me thinking about Epoch and Ascension. There were no big announcements, no hype, just quiet updates. Personally, I understood why. After the disaster of the original launch and all the drama, staying low-key made sense. Whether the rumors were true or not didn't really matter anymore. What mattered was that the server was alive, slow but steady. For me, the plan was simple: hit level 60, see how endgame feels, and then decide. Slow progress didn't actually scare me. Honestly, I kinda liked it. And then finally my macro worked. Steel Snap popped up. I didn't hesitate, I stunned him straight away, dropped a consecration and went full damage mode. Turns out he wasn't scary at all. He melted, no drama, no panic, just a clean kill. I laughed a bit, because after all that preparation it was easier than expected. With that done, so our next goal were the Crag Stalkers. I wanted to clear that quest now, so I would have to come back later after finishing the pinnacles. Efficiency. Finally, our combat through there continued. Mobs fell, bandages got upgraded, and I appreciated just how good Paladin sustain really is. Free heals, mana regen, and solid survivability. It all added up. When I reached the pinnacles, things went smoothly. The mobs were lower level, the quests stacked nicely, and I even ran into a rare I had never seen before. No amazing loot, but still fun. It kinda reminds me how much of this game lives in a small surprises. Eventually, we worked our way through the pinnacles, collecting all of the secret notes to this quest. And then eventually I faced Arikara, an elite but manageable. She hit like a wet noodle, poisoned me a bit, and then died. Paladin problems require Paladin solutions. From there, it was time to deal with the Grim Totem leader and run the escort. Escorts are always stressful because they love spawning mobs at the worst possible moment. I over-leveled the content thankfully, because otherwise I would have been restarting that quest while questioning my life choices. The escort ended safely, the quests turned in, big XP rewards rolled in. I checked my bags and realized I had a lot to sell. Way too much actually. I did notice that one new headpiece fit my look slightly better. Not much, just enough to feel less like a traveling circus wizard paladin hybrid. At that point I debated using my Heartstone, but the central leader was right in the middle of my path which I had to kill, so instead of being smart, I chose the violence. I charged in, killed him quickly, and grabbed the head of Khan Abind and moved on to show the proof that centaur tribes are no longer a threat to Torrens of Ruined Post. So I headed back for the big turn-ins, and then it happened. Level 32 finally. I straight up put a point to Sanctified Judgment because mana sustained mattered the most, and then the rewards started rolling in. A ring with stamina and strength, massive upgrade. Leggings with 12 stamina, goodbye crit, hello survivability. Wrist guards that traded stamina for damage, acceptable sacrifice. It felt good, real progress, just with a couple of quest turn-ins. Assault of the Jung trained better bandages, and laughed when I realized heavy silk bandages healed 760 instead of 500. That wasn't a small upgrade, that was life-changing. On top of that, the gold slowly climbed up, almost one full gold just from selling the bandages, which is not bad at all. I still desperately needed life root to push my alchemy further, but let's face it, Thousand Needles wasn't exactly known for wet herbal paradise vibes, so I accepted my fate and moved on. Our next journey took us to the Thunderbluff, where I did train new abilities. And we did get a Crusader Strike rank upgrade. This one was actually huge. My holy damage bonus jumped hard, and I felt it instantly. The damage was about to skyrocket. I also grabbed Blessing of Might for group utility and made a mental note to come back later for wisdom on level 34. While being there, I also checked the auction house hoping for a miracle weapon, but no luck this time around as well. Everything was widely overpriced. 15 gold here, 45 gold there, absolute madness I tell you. I walked away proud of my restraint and poor by choice. Then something unexpected happened. Someone actually invited me to Scarlet Monastery graveyard, but I was supposed to be a tank. I hesitated a bit as my one-handed weapon first was terrible, my tank gear was questionable, and to top it all off, I was the retribution spec with only like 3 points in the parry talent. But the opportunity knocked. Therefore, I answered. I trained the missing weapon skill for a bit, slapped on Righteous Fury, and got summoned to the Tirisful Glades. From there on, there were some strange shenanigans happening in there, as half of the dungeon was empty. We thought it's a reset problem, but that didn't help either. We went straight to the end of the dungeon, and the very moment we crossed the entrance to the graveyard crypts, the mobs started to swarm us. I got my shield up ready for battle, and somehow it worked. Not perfectly, not smoothly, but it worked. Mobs hit hard, really hard. I wasn't spec'd for tanking, but between Seal of Lights, stuns, bandages, and sheer stubbornness, I held it together somehow. The group didn't rage, nobody left, we adapted. I was Retribution spec and Druid Healer was Balance, so we had to take it slow. Especially that after each bigger pull I had a couple of almost dead moments and Healer was instantly out of mana. But that was the beauty of Epoch, I guess. No instant quits, no blame games, just people figuring out because there weren't infinite other options. The goal mattered more than perfection. Eventually the boss went down, but had utter garbage loot, so we reset the dungeon properly and went again. This time, it clicked. I used exorcism properly. Stream chat reminded me about the undead mechanics and that I can pull with it. Threat stabilized. Pulls became clean, as I also was more careful with my pulls and it didn't bring too many mobs at once. In the graveyard itself we found 3 rares, so it was awesome. Iron Spite dropped nice one-handed weapon, but I didn't have any skill in maces. Either way, the rogue won the need roll, so there's that. Next up was the Scarlet Champion. I had my hopes up for the Morbid Down, a massive two-handed sword. But this run was better for cloth wearers, as the cloth helmet dropped actually. But then it happened. Oh my god, finally! Oh yeah, nice. A rare two-handed axe dropped. And not from the bosses actually, but from the simple trash mobs. The two-handed weapon I had been hoping for. Well, not exactly this one, but upgrade is an upgrade, I guess. Finally, a real weapon. We finished the run, cleaned up loose ends, and I made my way toward Undercity on foot because my Hearthstone was still on cooldown. Not ideal, but I still had an old RFK quest to turn it in here. Along the way, I reflected on something important, because on a normal server, the group would have fallen apart at first wipe. People would have blamed specs, gear, damage meters, and each other. Here, we stay, we adapted, and we finished. That actually mattered, which is great. I turned in quests, banked materials, crafted some shadow oil with grave moss off of the auction house, and prepared for what came next. So I headed toward the Zeppelin Tower because there was no way around it. If I wanted to get back to Thousand Needles with my Hearthstone down, I had to put in the legwork. No shortcuts, no miracles. Although Zeppelin teleports on Epoch do save some time. The upside was that once I got back, my options would finally open up. Desolace, Stranglethorn Vale, Arathi Highlands. I really wanted to go to Arathi at some point, but to be honest, the low-level quests there were almost non-existent. Most of the work sat elsewhere. Therefore, Stranglethorn Vale would probably come first. Some early beast hunting, some trolls, the usual welcome committee. But most of these quests were higher level anyway, so for now, Thousand Needles it is. Since I was already there, I figured I might as well pick up the Alliance Relation quest that leads to the Desolace, but that's when I did something incredibly stupid. I walked straight into a hole right at the ledge of the Valley of the Winds. A designed to kill you hole that's almost invisible while running. There was no short way back up, so I had to leave the bay on foot, or by swimming, as always. They even added the Bay Beast underneath just to make sure that you didn't survive the fall. 24,000 health, same idea as the Sewer Beast in Stormwind or Slime Beast in Undercity. Pretty nice touch, Epoch. So there I was, swimming all the way back to shore, questioning my life choices. That's what happens when you don't pay attention. Simple as that. While passing by the Zepp Tower outside Orgrimmar, I noticed something strange. The Zeppelin Masters were gone. Goblin engineers had taken over. Planks blocking paths, signs said off limits. The war chief had ordered a new tower, apparently, and paid very well. Massive sign, go to Orgrimmar. Funny stuff, to be honest. If I hadn't fallen earlier, I might have missed all this. Silver lining, I guess. Eventually, I made it back to the Freewind post. I found a reagent vendor and stocked up on Redthroat, Kingsblood, Wild Steelbloom, Scrolls of Strength, Stamina, Agility. Nothing exciting, but very useful. Survival and more damage always matters. So it was time to finally go towards Shrimming Flats. Along the way, we turn in and get a follow-up to get rid of the insects in the area. And then I saw it. The Mirage Raceway. And it looked incredible. Increased field of view made everything feel alive. Goblin races everywhere, towers also everywhere. Parachutes, announcers shouting nonsense, ego-fueled goblin synergy. They had actually implemented racing, it seems. To get a driving license though, I had to lose some dignity first through one of the quests. I begged, I pleaded, literally, slash commands and all. Somehow it worked. I got approved for a racing license at level 32, which felt very late in life, but better late than never. Then it turned out that the race system is broken, or I'm just too stupid to figure it out. Queues didn't work. cars didn't spawn, NPCs got stuck, goblins laughed endlessly in the background, while nothing really happened. Maybe a server restart will fix it, as no person in here offered me a car to race. The queue didn't put me in the race mode either. Eventually, I just gave up and went back to questing, as I couldn't really do anything. There were quests tied to the new raceways as well, delivering sparkling water to the watchtowers, dealing with some ghost gazer riding the track. It all felt fresh. I finally applied my newly created shadow oil onto the brand new axe, and it was glowing like it was blessed by the gods themselves. The proc rate felt insane actually, shadow bolts flying everywhere, bleeds from the axe sticking, judgment of light healing me through the tougher fights. Grinding felt actually great. Sometimes it did still happen, too many misses, too many dodges. Crusader Strike missing hurt badly because when it didn't connect, my holy damage collapsed. Therefore I stuck to mobs 2 levels below me. That's how Classic always worked. Lower level mobs felt a lot easier to kill. The desert grind was real. Turtles, scorpids, basilisks, endless circles. But respawns were good and my mana barely moved thanks to Sanctified Judgment. Then I found a strange spot with skeletons scattered everywhere, totems and total silence. Something really bad happened in here, probably connected to one of the new quests. But eventually I did hit level 33. A rare turtle I have found dropped some loot, Shell Shocker Shield. Not amazing, but better than my current one. Rare was a rare, and the spelling was kind of funny. Sanctified Judgment was now fully online. With 3 points in it, mana problems were basically gone. Every judgment paid for itself. The Paladin changes on Epoch felt incredible. Classic flavor, but modern flow. At one point, shadow oil did faded, and the sadness followed. Still, gold piled up. 2 gold from trash alone, which is not bad. The racing system was still broken, the goblin NPC was still stuck, and nothing happened. So I turned everything in, grabbed what XP I could, and headed back to Freewind Post for rested XP. There are still more levels to gain, more zones to see, and more mistakes to make. Preferably fewer hole next time. Adventures would come, just not today. So, first things first, we continue our journey through Thousand Needles, as I still had a stack of brand new quests waiting for me and the zone wasn't done with me yet. At level 33, I could already move on to places like Stranglethorn Vale if I wanted, but Thousand Needles still had stories to tell, so I stayed. I also had one lingering question in the back of my mind. Was the Mirage Raceway finally working? Last time it was a mess. No mounts, no races, no action. Just disappointment on wheels. First things first, I turned in the Silithid quest. The swarm grows. We crushed the insect and I happily took the 3000 experience. Simple, clean and satisfying. But another part of the quest chain set me back to Crossroads later, therefore guaranteeing more travel in my future. Classic WoW never misses a chance to make you walk, especially at this level range. One quest stood out immediately though, the Ghost of the Flats. A brand new elite quest, over 4,000 experience, big reward, big problem. Chief Dusthood, a haunted Tauren spirit, was terrorizing the Mirage Raceway. Goblins, gnomes, race cars, no one was safe. Honestly, the idea of a ghost haunting a racetrack already had me sold. As I crossed the Salt Flats, I tried queuing for a race again, but nothing happened. Again, at this point, I wasn't sure if it was bugged or simply unfinished. All the systems were there, vendors, currencies, announcements, but not actual racing. Therefore, I gave up and focused on the ghost. I found Chief Dusthoof wandering the flats and I straight up opened the fight aggressively, popping my offensive trinket and starting strong. He hit hard, with each swing chipped away a chunk of my health, but I had sustain. Auto-healing with the Judgment of Light kept me steady, and when things got rough, I used the potions to stabilize. Then I accidentally pulled another mob, of course I did. So I bubbled, double healed, stunned when I could, and kept swinging like a madman I was. The good thing I got Will of Forsaken to resist the fear, and finally Dusthoof fell. The desert went quiet without his haunting. From his body I looted an amber memento, just a worn pendant, tarnished metal amber shoved in without care. But as I held it, I could feel a cold wind pushing me north, like the land itself was pointing the way. The quest wasn't over. I turned in the elite quest and despite my hope, didn't get any flashy rewards, just experience. A lot of it, to be fair. Still worth it. but something else caught my attention. In the last episode, a weathered totem tied to another quest, so I instantly remember the place. A grim totem camp, bodies everywhere. Last time I couldn't interact with anything. This time I went back. Still nothing. The totem was there, but untouchable. The quest tracker insisted this was correct, but the world disagreed. Therefore I tried something desperate. I died on purpose. When I released my spirit, everything changed. Ghostly Tauren wandered the camp. Spirits I couldn't see before were suddenly clear. One of them, Spirit Walker Mata, spoke to me. She told me the truth about Chief Dasthoof. The chieftain wasn't just angry, he was guilty. His village had fallen, his people were lost. Killing him wasn't enough to bring peace. Therefore I was given a new task, gather special leaves from Desolace to perform a ritual and help the spirits move on. Another zone, another journey, but also another layer to the story. I accepted the quest without hesitation. I was heading to Desolace anyway. With nothing left to do in the flats, I hardstone back to Ruined Post, and from there I took flight to Ratchet to finish the loose ends. I turned in the goblin sponsorships, knowing they would eventually send me to Stranglethorn Vale, but not yet. My real goal was Desolace. The reason was simple. I needed grave moss, a lot of it. Grave moss lets me craft shadow oil, and shadow oil turns my weapon into a glowing nightmare. It makes shadow bolts hit constantly, and honestly, it just feels powerful. Also, glowing weapons never get old. Mail arrived too. Wool cloth sold for over 2 gold. That felt like winning the lottery, except smaller and with more sheep involved. Now I had a choice to which zone to go to. Plenty of quests were open, none too high level, but Grave Moss was still calling. Therefore, Desolace it was. Before heading out, I prepared properly. I brewed my buffs, Elixir of Ogre Strength and Elixir of Fortitude. Thanks to Mixology, these buffs last 2 hours and hit harder. More strength, more health, more confidence. More confident. Therefore, I stepped out feeling like a walking fortress. Travel reminded me that constant 15% movement speed for paladins may not sound exciting, but it's always there. I'm not flying like a druid or shapeshifting like a shaman, but I'm always just a little faster, and over time, that adds up. First enemies here from which I had to get a quest item were perfect for my level, mostly 30 to 31. Casters especially were weak. Low health, low damage, therefore the grind felt smooth. I started hunting Burning Blade enemies for demon skin. The drop rate was only 2%. That meant patience, and patience meant frustration. Kill after kill, nothing dropped. I wonder if I was killing the wrong mobs, but the quest said they all counted. Therefore I kept going. Finally, one dropped. A Reaver delivered the prize. Relief washed over me instantly. More quests opened up. Bone Collector wanted bones from Colo Graveyard. Higher level, but manageable. I accepted it. Before my list grew longer, but my purpose stayed clear. I passed the Gizelton caravan, unsure if an escort quest even existed anymore. Desolace had changed since the last time I walked these sands. Memory felt unreliable, but curiosity kept moving. At Ghostwalker Post, the quest flood truly began. Familiar names, old storylines, carryovers from Thousand Needles. I cleared out useless PvP quests, nobody was fighting anyway, and they only clogged my journal. Clean log means clear mind. I faced a choice between centaur factions. I had chosen Gelkis before on another character, therefore I decided to go with Magram this time around. Eventually, more quests stacked up. Satyrs, towers, corrupted enemies, shadow stalkers. Desolace opened itself wide, full of things to do. But now, the grave moss was green for me, easy to collect, right where I needed it. Therefore, this wasn't just a stop along the road. This was the turning point. Power was coming, shadow oil was close, and Desolace, miserable as it looked, had just become the most important place in the world. I stepped into Kogo Graveyard confident, but then I remembered that this quest summons a whole group of high-level enemies, big ones and very high level, the kind that don't politely wait their turn. I could probably beat them, but not like this. Therefore, I stopped and admitted the truth myself. I needed that shadow oil, more firepower, no shortcuts. Once I prepared properly, the fight finally began, and immediately I felt it. These enemies didn't hit like normal mobs, they hit like trucks, very angry trucks. Crusader Strike missed. then missed again and again. There were several levels above me, so it made sense. But it still hurt my soul a little. Still, it wasn't impossible, therefore I stayed calm and kept grinding them down. Level 37 enemies are no joke. Way too high for comfort. They parried constantly, dodged everything, and every missed Crusader strike felt like losing a page from my rotation. That ability is a backbone of my damage. Without it, seals and judgments feel like throwing wet paper towels. One simple carrion mob almost killed me. Not a boss, not an elite, just one angry pile of bones and meat. That's when I knew this zone wasn't playing fair, but Desolace surprised me. There are quests everywhere, bones, fossils, carrion, grave moss, 4 quests at once in one area. That kind of efficiency barely existed in Standard Classic at this level and in Desolace. Therefore, even though the enemies were brutal, the progress felt worth it. But Grave Moss came first. This was the real mission. Shadow Oil mattered more than any quest reward. Therefore I ignored the commission quest at first and I focused on gathering. Grave Moss respawned quickly here, almost like the zone understood why I came here. Dying coders were harder to find than expected. Strange, considering the place is literally called the Kodo Graveyard. Still, I hunted them patiently, one here, one there, almost died again by not watching my health. Lesson learned. Eventually I turned the Crazed Carrion quest and that pushed me over the edge. Level 34. That level up mattered. I unlocked Vengeance, a talent that rewards weapon critical strikes with increased holy damage. 1% per stack, up to 3 stacks, lasting 30 seconds. Simple, powerful, and immediately noticeable. My hands began to glow after crits, a classic Paladin visual I've always loved. This, in conjunction with the Shadow Oil, made me glow like a Christmas tree. In the end, the fights didn't get easier that much, but they got faster. Damage started to flow up. Confidence returned. I finished the Bone quest, Grave Moss kept spawning, perfect timing. I gathered more than 20 in total, so mission accomplished for now. That was the whole reason I came here in the first place, therefore everything else was a bonus. I looked around for an inn to set my hearthstone, but there wasn't much here, just dust, bones and regret. Therefore I decided to head south instead, collecting quests, killing Galki's centaur to shift faction favor, and searching greener patches for Fate Leaf. Desolace had tested me. It nearly killed me more than once, but it gave me levels, power, glowing hands, and enough grave moss to fuel my Shadow Oil plans. And that made every close call worth it. I was deep in the Desolace when something unexpected happened. A Warsong Gulch battleground popped. I didn't plan for PvP at all, but sometimes the world throws you into chaos and you either step in or step aside. Therefore I joined. The match loaded in as a 3 versus 3. Not many people, but one enemy was a feral druid, another was a warrior, hard hitters, fast movers, but as they had my Shadow Oil active, therefore my damage was better than usual. The fights exploded instantly. We caught one of them out of position and dropped him fast. Then the druid followed. For a brief moment, it felt amazing, clean, efficient. We were cooking. But then they regrouped. They grabbed the speed buff. Therefore the chase was over before it began. Once someone with heals and speed gets the flag, you're not catching them on foot. I learned that the hard way. I tried to lock targets down, but I didn't have the Seal of Justice. And that hurt. Without it, stuns were limited and runners slipped away. I did what I could, judging Seal of Light to help my team sustain, smacking targets when I had mana, healing when I could. The warrior on our side hit like a truck, and when his whirlwind connected, things melted. Still, numbers mattered. They had more players, more heals, therefore the outcome was decided long before the end. We fought it out anyways. Stuns landed, cooldowns burned. Eventually they turned in the flag and ended it. We lost, but honestly it was fun, and I didn't expect PvP at all that day, so it felt like a bonus chapter instead of a failure. Back in Desolace, it was time to refocus. I went back to grinding. Boots dropped, decent stats, but mine were better. Silk cloth finally started showing up, which helped. Reputation farming crossed my mind, but I shut it down fast. I wasn't hated yet, and grinding a centaur rep could wait. There were more important things to do. I finally reached the Shadowprey village to clean up my quest log and gather more quests. More Stranglethorn ones appeared, which I gladly took for later. New Desolace quests opened up too. Demons, fortresses, boxes full of bad ideas. Some I grabbed because they might lined up with where I was already going. Others I left behind for now. Quest space is a real enemy. I set my hearthstone in Shadowprey village. That decision alone saved future headaches. Then I looked north. On the way, I passed through the Kodo graveyard again, picking up more grave moss. Always more grave moss, it's never enough. I skipped herbs I didn't need. King's blood, I was already drowning in it. Then I got careless. A bad pull, health dropped fast, I had to heal, drop consecration and fight my way out. These mobs hit harder than they look, and my AoE tools were still limited. All that trouble for one grave moss, but it's worth it. I tested my luck on elementals that could drop an item I needed, but no luck. Same awful drop rates as always. Some things never change, but that was fine. I knew there was still a lot to do in the north. Elementals to hunt, centaurs leader to kill, entire quest chains waiting, but I also knew something important. If I finished this northern stretch of Desolace, level 35 was basically guaranteed. It might be a struggle now, but therefore the next zones will feel much easier. Then came the turn-ins, big ones, bones delivered, quest completed, experience flowing in. The rewards themselves weren't amazing. One nickel tried to tempt me, but mine was better. But the progress was real. The only problem was I couldn't sell anything here, so my bags were starting to feel tight. Moving on, I spotted something strange. A burning village. I didn't remember this from before. The Kolka tribe had clearly been busy, or maybe I had just missed it years ago due to limited view distance and classic. Either way, it was hostile, alive and interesting. A level 35 Kolka leader stood in my way. Nothing special, I pulled him away from his guard and dealt with him cleanly. 1-on-1, no distractions, quest done. So, I explored the burning village further, but found myself mostly enemies in fire. However, tucked away was something unexpected. A path, and not just any path. It led straight toward Thunderbluff. That was brand new. This wasn't here before for sure. A real shortcut. Suddenly, Desolace felt connected instead of isolated. From Shadowprey village to the north, it was actually faster to fly to Thunderbluff and walk in from there. That change alone made the zone far more bearable. A small addition, but one that mattered. The mob levels at Sargon were perfect for me. Most enemies sat right in my range. Bandages helped, but I was burning through them fast. Shadow Oil would have been perfect right now, but without Fadelith, it wasn't happening. While moving through the ruins, I realized that those mobs were demons, which meant something important. I could use Exorcism. It cost a lot of mana, but also it hit hard. Therefore every cast felt worth it. The quest was brutal. So many kills, so much time. It was a slow grind, but very steady. Eventually, I reached the ruins of Sargon. Somewhere inside was the demon I needed. I expected tricks, fireballs, chaos, but instead, the fight was quick. Exorcism, Crusader Strike, Judgment, and done. Sometimes preparation makes things look easy. By this point, the grind was almost over. Just a few betrayers, a couple of rogues, then freedom. I could feel level 35 getting closer. I kept thinking ahead. At level 38, Seal of Wisdom would change everything. Judgment of Wisdom would let me regain mana every fight. More spells, more heals, less downtime. The class would finally open up. With the kill quests done, only the Shadow Stalkers remained. Once they fell, I knew I would have Mountain of Turn-ins waiting. Unfortunately, Fadelith still refused to show, which meant no Shadow Oil. That hurt, but not everything goes your way. One quest required precise timing, using an item to capture energy mid-cast. Miss it, and you fail. Annoying, but I nailed it with my 50 points left. Clean execution. Then came the Demon Keep. I entered, fought carefully, and made a mistake. I delayed lay on hands, trying to squeeze more damage first. The mob cast went through, and I died. I admit, that was on me. The round back was short, the lesson was clear. Don't get greedy. On the second attempt, a patrol nearly wiped me again, but I sure survived by inches. Tragic or funny? I still haven't decided. Inside, I cleared the room, gathered the final gems, and summoned the demon. Line of sight worked perfectly, mana recovered, cooldowns ready. Exorcism hit hard, Crusader Strike followed, and the demon melted. Quest item secured. Thunder Axe Fortress was finally clear. The Burning Blade Seer dropped the Scepter of Light on our way out, just as promised. Easy, no tricks. He also dropped useless cloth booths, which felt like an insult, but I moved on. The next quests send us to the islands for keys, chests, and naga kills. Everything lined up nicely, but it was already late. Therefore, I made a smart choice. I had sewn back to Shadowprey village, bags full, quests stacked, level 35 within reach. Desolace wasn't done with me yet, but for now, the journey paused, and the next chapter would begin stronger than the last. Desolace was waiting for me again. First things first, I had to admit something. I treated myself. I bought a new weapon from the auction house, a bone lasher, a two-handed sword. I love swords, and honestly, they just feel right on the Paladin. It cost me a painful chunk of gold, but it was a big upgrade. And yes, being a Paladin helps soften the pain a little, because free mount means more gold stays in my pocket. Not much, but I'll take everyone I can get. The plan for today was simple: finish as much of Desolace as possible, therefore clean out the quest log and move on stronger. I started turning quests in from the previous episodes, one after another. Hand of Eroxas wanted to lead me straight back into the demon trouble. I had to close 6 demonic portals at Manorock Coven. The reward was good, but the danger was obvious. Level 38 enemies. Still, it was only 6 portals, therefore I decided to risk it. More turn-ins followed first though, and more follow-ups stacked up on top. Scorpion Venom, Kodo Hides, Demon Books, my quest log hit the hard limit of 25, completely full. My bags were worse. Tiny H-slot bags stuffed with herbs, quest items, and hope. But Desolace had changed with the new updates, more quests everywhere, therefore quitting halfway wasn't an option. Just turning quests in pushed me to level 35, which meant a talent point. That stopped me in my tracks. I had a choice: more damage, more crit, or repentance. And I chose repentance. A 1-minute cooldown crowd control. It's not a stun, but it's a very nice way of getting out of when things go bad or just keeping somebody in place. And in Desolace, things always go bad. With my new sword glowing blue and my hands shining with holy power, I headed back into the wilds. I wasn't even fully trained in sword skill yet, but close enough. I killed scorpids and kodos along the way, grabbing venom, hides, and whatever I could carry. I picked life root and grave moss whenever I saw it. Because with my alchemy setup and mixology addition on top of that, one good healing potion could heal nearly 1,000 health or more. When those crit, it feels like cheating. Eventually I reached Manorock Coven. Rain poured down, making an already dark place even harder to see. The demons there were strong. Summoners stood behind portals, but I had a plan. Pull with exorcism, judge Seal of Light for healing, and save mana when I could. And when everything went wrong, bubble and pray. And everything did go wrong because Felguards hit hard. Misses stacked up due to their high level, Crusader Strike refused to land. Mana ran dry, bandages ran out. At one point I realized I couldn't just run away. I had to kill those Felguards for the quest credit. Closing in the portal wasn't enough, therefore I slowed down, stunned the targets before big attacks for Crusader Strike to finally connect. Among the ruins we have also found Shirina, the demon I needed for the Infernal Almanac, but she was very heavily guarded. But the patience paid off. I managed to pull her alone with exorcism from afar, so I burned her down quickly, grabbed the book and closed another portal. One by one, the portals fell. Imps tickled me with tiny fireballs. Infernal guards burned. The blue glow of sword flashed through the rain. It was rough, but it was a true paladin work, purging demons from Azeroth. But with the demon work finished, I moved on to Scorpid and Kodos. Scorpachi Venom came slowly, therefore I didn't hunt them directly, I killed them when I saw them. Kodos were easier, big, slow and neutral, perfect targets. Some died easily, others needed to kill me when my attacks missed 3 times in a row. One bad streak forced me to use a health potion just to survive, but the quests were getting done and the grave moss piled up in my bags, which was a very important ingredient to keep creating the shadow oils that make my weapon glow. Eventually, I returned to Ghostwalker Post, heavy with loot and quest items. I turned in everything I could. Experience flowed in, follow-ups unlocked, new tasks appeared. Some rewards were decent, some are clearly meant for cloth or leth wearers, but then came the surprise. The Kodo Roundup quest paid off. The reward was mail armor with strength, stamina and agility, a real upgrade for my shoulders. Finally something made for me. I put it on immediately. It felt earned because it was. Therefore, I followed the next plan. I still needed Scorpachi Venom, Elemental Essences, Flying Beasts, and one last book tied to the ancient ruins. So I killed everything in my path, finished the Dry Snaps Delicacy, collect the Book of the Ancients, and let the rest solve itself out naturally. Before moving, I reapplied Shadow Oil to my sword. More damage meant shorter fights, and shorter fights meant fewer panic moments. Therefore, the grind began. The flyers were first, annoying, fragile, and everywhere. One disarm later, I was reminded that even small enemies can still be rude. Still, they fell pretty quickly. Without bandages though, my health dropped fast between pulls, but stopping too often would slow me down. Therefore I pushed harder, drank more, and stayed in motion. Eventually, the last dread flyer dropped. Relief hit instantly, one task down, and no more birds. Next came the elementals. These were a different story. They cast fast, hit hard, and showed zero mercy. Their instant spells slammed into me like bricks, but I needed Storming Essence, therefore I stood my ground. At first, nothing really dropped, then suddenly they started dropping, almost like every kill. Sometimes the game just decides to be kind, and I wasn't about to question it. So, as I moved north, my thoughts drifted away. Alterac Mountains waited with better quests and even better rewards. There was a Frost Oil recipe there, an upgrade over Shadow Oil that also slowed enemies. Perfect for a Paladin. Extra damage, extra control, extra fun. But that was later. First, we had to finish this godforsaken place, which Desolace is. I did eventually manage to hunt those Scorpashi Scorpids next. The map insisted they were everywhere, but reality disagreed. Fog, rain, and terrain made them feel invisible. When I finally spotted one, my UI exploded instead. One innocent graphic change turned my entire screen into chaos. Everything grew. Buttons broke, panic set in. Therefore, I simply logged out and logged back in, and thankfully it worked. And I just wanted to reduce the weather intensity because it was so annoying. With my screen saved and my sanity restored, I continued. I grabbed grave moss while dodging basilisks that looked very eager to ruin my day. Then I looped through elemental patrols I knew by heart. I had farmed this exact route before on another character on Ascension, circling endlessly for red drops that never came. This time at least, the essences cooperated. 4 out of 4, done. Then we head back to the shores and I returned the Book of the Ancient next. The reward looked nice on paper, but my current gear was better. Still, vendor value is vendor value, and my bags were already crying for mercy. Space mattered more than pride. With that done, I went for the Oracle Crystal. Oracles don't like being disturbed, and they come with guards. I cleared the escort first, then stunned the Oracle with Repentance. Although, it's not what it used to be. It's only 6 seconds instead of nearly a minute. But those 6 seconds was enough. The crystal dropped, first try. A rare moment of victory without pain. Level 38 was creeping closer now. Every quest turn-in felt heavier, stronger. I could feel Seal of Wisdom waiting just ahead. 2 more levels and mana problems would become a memory. Before leaving though, I dove into the water near the wrecked ship. Makrura's claws were next. Underwater combat is always slow, but at least these enemies didn't flee deeper when hurt. I searched the wreck, confident there would be treasure, and there it was, a chest named Sunken Treasure. But it was empty. I started it in silence. The game had played me perfectly. Still, undead perks helped here. Longer underwater breathing meant fewer surface breaks, and Cannibalized let me heal without spending mana. Undead Paladin remains best in slot. Although my next move was to Hearthstone back to Shadowprey Village. And back at the fishing town, everything clicked into place. Turn-in stacks, experience poured in. So, level 36. New quests appeared, new rewards. One wrist upgrade gave me more stamina and agility without losing strength. A small item, but a big win. Some demon quests were offered next, but I took one look at levels and said no. Desolace had already taken enough from me. Eventually I gathered enough shellfish and finished the orca hunt nearby the Shadowprey village. The elite orca never showed up, so I was done waiting. Some quests are not worth your time, and knowing when to walk away is an actual skill. I finished the last fishing tasks, traded shellfish for bloodbelly fish, and cleared my quest log, clean, organized and ready. The bloodbelly fish will be important for us because a Torrent at Ghostwalker post actually requested it. And with that, Desolace behind me and my Paladin stronger felt than ever. so I turned north. The road forward was clear. Before leaving Desolace for good, I made one last smart stop at the inn. At level 35, better drinks finally unlocked, therefore I upgraded to moonberry juice. More mana per sip meant fewer breaks, and fewer breaks means faster leveling. Simple math. With my bags lighter and my mana bar happier, I went upstairs and turned in the final quest from Shadowprey village. Orca blubber delivered. No follow-ups, no loose ends. Desolace was officially behind me. But there was still one thing left on my mind, the centaur ears. I headed out and started cutting through the centaurs on the road. The quest was low level, their rewards were weak, and their experience wasn't great. But silk cloth kept dropping, and silk cloth is tempting. Therefore I stayed longer than I should have. Some kills dropped airs, some didn't, which made the whole thing feel personal. Eventually, 15 out of 15 dropped, and that was enough. The reputation reward wasn't worth the extra grind, so I walked away while I still had my sanity. On the way back, I grabbed every life root I could find. Healing potions weren't urgent anymore, but they were still comfort food for a paladin. I checked once more for an escort quest that never seems to exist. It didn't show up again. Some mysteries in Azeroth are eternal. With quests stacking up, I made the call to move on. Instead of flying back just to save a minute, I chose the longer but smarter route. I turned in what I could, grabbed a burst of experience and headed towards Ghostwalker Post. 4 quests turned in at once, the quest log finally started to breathe again. From there, the road north opened up. A brand new path led straight forward to Thunderbluff, cutting through areas that once forced long detours. It felt good, clean and intentional, and at a level 36, it was time for upgrades. Thunderbluff was the right choice. No paladin trainer in Orgrimmar on this realm, therefore the city in the sky became my classroom. New spell ranks waited, exorcism improved, resistance auras unlocked, blessing of salvation added, seal of justice learned just in case. Some spells I wouldn't use much, but having them mattered. Options always matter. The real prize waited at level 38, Seal of Wisdom. Once unlocked, judging it would give attacks a chance to restore mana. This meant Crusader Strike could almost pay for itself. Judge first, then swing forever. Sustain unlocked. The grind would change completely. But before leaving the city, I cleaned the house. Herbs went into the bank, I crafted what I could, saved what I might need later, and accepted the backspace is the real endgame. So, I finally fixed it. The bigger bags meant quality of life. One 12-slot knapsack, followed by cheap silk packs. Nothing fancy, but the difference was immediate. Fewer trips, less stress. Still annoying to rearrange everything by hand, but very worth it. With my spells trains, bags expanded, and gold mostly intact, I mounted up and flew to Orgrimmar. One quest waited there, and from that point on, the path forward was clear. Hillsbrad and Alterac Mountains. And now, it was time to move forward. I knew Alterac had quests for days. Dalaran agents, Syndicate camps, ogres, elites, and strange new quest lines I have never seen before. But before diving in, I headed to Undercity, moving faster now thanks to flight paths and better planning. I could already start Scarlet Monastery. I was strong enough, but time mattered more than ambition. I had about half an hour left, the 4 dungeons would wait. Next session, Scarlet Armory and Library would be first. Mail and cloth upgrades, clear runs, everyone's happy. For now though, I needed a base, and Taran Mill felt right, so I had my Hearthstone here. Alterac opened up faster after that. Taran Mill exploded with quests. Syndicate missions, Dalaran patrols, elite hunts, prison camps, rods to charge, graves to disturb. Everything pointed north and east, deeper into the mountains. So, I grabbed everything. Some quests I knew I wouldn't finish just yet, but options mattered. And besides, being overleveled turns hard content into stress-free progress. Desolace had been rough, but it paid off here. Enemies melted, damage was absurd. Being 5 level higher feels illegal, but I wasn't complaining. I headed south first, cleaning up easier objectives, Yetis. While fighting, I applied Shadow Oil to my weapon. The procs were wild, Shadow Bolts firing non-stop, reliable damage and fast kills, therefore Shadow Oil stayed the king. Inside Forsaken camps, I learned why prisoners had to die. They were traitors, thieves who stole artifacts from Sylvanas herself. That explanation didn't make it pretty, but it made it clear. I finished the job and moved on. As I explored deeper, herbs finally matched my level. Fade Leaf, Khadgar Whisker, Winter's Bite. Suddenly alchemy mattered once again. Bigger bags helped too. Backspace really is the true endgame. Then I remembered the Frost Oil. I snuck into the Durnhold Keep, dodging elites and guards, using bubbles and lay on hands as my safety net. On the walls, exactly where I hoped, a goblin solved the recipe. Frost Oil, 10% chance to cast Frostbolt and slowed the target. Control and damage. Perfect on paper. I bought it, but I needed some skill ups before I could use it. Jumping down to the shores of Lordomere Lake, I found a kill target I was supposed to eradicate that we took from the Scarlet Graveyard. Those were 2 elites, so the fight was intense, but with extensive kiting and some healing here and there, I did manage to kill both of them, even though I only needed the girl. On the way back, I killed a rare named Cranky Benji. The name alone was worth it. The loot wasn't an upgrade, but the moment was. I pushed deeper into the Syndicate territory, hunting Baron Valimar Mortis, or at least trying to. This was brand new Epoch quest, and the quest's marker said he was there. He wasn't though. Locked chests, no keys, no Baron, just confusion and elites punching me in the face. I backed out before greed killed me. Some fights are better saved for later. On the way back to Tarren Mill, I had to get some Syndicate missive from the Hillsbrad Hills. And on my way there, I finally got alchemy to 200 skill and was ready to create the Frost Oil. I crafted it and applied it immediately. And then, disappointment. The proc rate was terrible. The slow was pretty strong, but Shadow Oil still hit harder and more often. Frost Oil looked cool, glowed nicely and felt like a lightsaber, but it was a style over power, and Shadow Oil gave me the exact effect with more damage. Therefore, Shadow Oil stayed. Frost Oil became just a toy. Still, testing it mattered. Knowledge is power, even when the answer is don't bother. Although, during the testing we did find the missive from the Syndicate eventually. And back in Tarren Mill, everything came together. Quests turned in, gold gain, reputation climbed, I upgraded my braces, more stamina, more survivability, small wins add up. One final quest stood out, the Rod of Hercular. Charge it with Flame of Uzel and drive it into the grave in South Shore. Dark, dramatic, and very forsaken. By the time I finished turning everything in, I was just shy of level 37, close enough to taste it. Level 40 loomed ahead, a mount, a massive power jump, and with Epoch's extra talent points, every 5 levels, my build was coming together perfectly. I logged out knowing one thing for sure. Next time, the Scarlet Monastery awaits. So from here on, my road to level 40 was kinda grindy, you know, plenty of quests we have already seen before. So I just finished the Alterac Mountain stuff and then carried on to Stranglethorn Vale. And there it's a massive surprise because the very moment you actually arrive in Gromgol base camp, you already can see a couple of new custom quests. Nothing really fancy. One which consisted of gathering some supplies from the bottom of the sea, while also killing some sharks along the way. And the other one that was actually a little bit more interesting, they have added like a complete new troll crypt that has the layout of like the same one as the Blood Elves in the Blood Elf zone. It was pretty cool because there were like the troll ghosts and stuff, and we had to recover like a tablet from there. But this is just an introduction. I'm pretty much sure that there are more quests connected to this place, as I have found like a massive interactive altar at the back of the crypt, and also some kind of strange eye-catching amulet lying, which was quite interesting. But yeah, for the moment I didn't have any job regarding it, so I just left it like that. And while still grinding further, we also did find like this brand new arena in Stranglethorn Vale, which is like a reference to the Nagrand arena. And I have to say that even before level 39, those enemies were quite high for me, and pretty bulky because like regular elite at this point has around 6k health, and though this guy had like 16 and he was smacking me like a freaking truck, so there's definitely a challenge in here, which is a good thing. For sure you'll have to find a group to be able to overcome it, so very good stuff. I've also heard that the rewards are pretty awesome, although I was not able to see them due to the fact that I haven't completed it, but yeah, it's still ahead of us. And just to get back to level 40 finally, after finishing up with Stranglethorn Vale, I went to Dustwallow Marsh, as I do always love this zone, and very first thing we can notice is the massive Alliance Keep I have mentioned previously from the Barrens perspective, that consists of 40 plus level elites, and there are like 3 quests regarding it. We have to kill their leader, we have to kill their regular troops as well, and seems to be like some kind of escort quest inside with some potential rewards, because for killing the leader we can also get a very nice backs actually for our character, which is very incentivizing. The funny thing is that you actually cannot access this place from the Dustwallow Marsh. The best way is just to fly over to Camp Taurajo and then from there run up the hill, or else you can just go to the border where the burned inn is and then just climb the mountains, and from there you can very easily go through. And I have to admit that the sights at this place are pretty great. You have a amazing view on the whole swamp that looks pretty amazing, I'm not gonna lie. Like I mentioned a couple of times probably, Ascension did a great job enhancing the engine and allowing us to just see more in the world, which is quite beautiful, so good stuff. But yeah, unfortunately I haven't found the group for it yet, so I'm still to complete it. But then we just went further to the marsh, and one thing I have noticed, which is not a big deal, but they did something strange with it, is actually the Witch Hill, where usually you complete a bunch of quests and then finish the quest chain with a fight with some kind of gargoyle. Now this Swamp Jarl quests were kinda changed. We don't receive information for him anymore, we don't kill frogs anymore. There's still the spider quest connected to it, but otherwise murlocs are all over the place. Even on the swamp, we don't have to go to that little island next to it. You can find plenty of them right next to the huts, so there are some changes definitely. I also haven't completed the quest chain because after a couple of quests he gives you a task to actually find some kind of moonblade for him, and for the moment I still haven't figured out where to get it, so we still got a lot of work to do ahead of us. But yeah, eventually I did manage to get my level 40 mount. I was hoping for some kind of quest chain, but it turned out that we only have to speak with the trainer in the Undercity, and she bestows upon us the mount straight away. So very good stuff. On Red Paladin it actually moves pretty damn fast thanks to the Pursuit of Justice talent, so very nice quality of life stuff. It didn't cost me anything, so that's definitely a massive advantage for Paladins, of course, so I was happy about it. And on level 40 we didn't still get like any new talents or anything significant just yet, but with extra talent points I think that the final talent is available on level 44, so we're getting closer to it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video guys. That was a pretty long journey, but there's still quite a lot ahead of us, especially that those high-end leveling zones were very often left empty in Classic, and I heard that Epoch did actually an amazing job revitalizing them and adding a lot of the new content to the empty places, so still a lot of stuff to explore. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on my next journey.